as I wait for folks to show up, I'll probably do a little bit of toying around with one of my favorite new cards in the set, Griffin Aerie. Not a big, like, white player or life gain player, but this card just, like, oozes with potential, and it lets me play a lot of cards that I happen to like for other reasons, like Basilica Bell Hunt. Boy, I wish this would stop showing up. Is there a way to make this stop showing up? Let's find out. Adjust options. Account preferences. That opens up an internet window, so that's probably not right. Just want this thing to stop showing up. Any ideas? Well, maybe I'll ask chat later. Anyway. I don't know how to spell Basilica. That's my other problem. But here we go. Some Bell Hunts. We're just going to look up gain 3 life. See which cards actually do that. So we've got Charming Prince, of course. This is probably going to be looking like an Abzan Yorion type deck. We've got Revitalize, which is tempting, but unless you have Griffin Aerie, it's just absolute garbage, so probably not going to look in that direction. Hey, Blind Guardian, good to see you. I'm doing great, just kind of finishing up a little bit of deck building here. Oath of Kaya, of course, going to go into our gain 3 life tribal thing. This could also be just like Esper. Could put in some elite guard mages and some absorbs and stuff. We don't necessarily need to be green. Green gives us... So the Bant version I already have built, that's the one playing Uro. Of course, Uro is a really good card for this sort of thing. We're doing some green stuff today, Blind Guardian. I'm just playing around with this this other Griffin Aerie deck that I also kind of like, trying to figure out what looks better to me. I'll just call this, for now, we'll call this black-white something Griffin Shell. So we may come back to this later. For now, let's open up the Bant Griffin deck that I promised I'd be playing. One thing I noticed about this deck is that it probably can't ever beat an Ugin, so I'm trying to think if I should adjust to try and beat Ugins, because I bet we're going to see some people playing Ugins today. Probably what should happen is I should stop playing Gilded Goose, and I should probably play one less copy of Tulsimir, because who cares about aggro decks? Aggro decks don't exist. And I should probably play some Elspeth Conquers Death. Yeah, that seems fine. Bond of Flourishing's pretty bad. I could probably go down on this a little bit, but let's just start here. And hopefully Cardboard Live is going to be updating as we go along, because I am jumping right into the queues. Hey, Tammy, how's it going? Oh, we've got lots of vault. We could be opening the vaults all day, but nothing would come of it. Yeah, Bottles, I could see Vito playing in like a pure black-white version of this deck. My main thing I want to do is just make lots of Griffins and kill my opponents with them. I'm not as concerned about dealing them damage as I gain life. But that could be the right direction to go. How do I feel about this hand? I kind of need to bond into a blue source, but it's got like lands and spells. I'm down to try it. This is not the kind of hand that beats Ugin Ramp, and our opponent is using an Ugin avatar. But mulliganing is for scrubs. We don't mulligan around here. So hopefully this first bond can find a Griffin Aerie, and then we can drop that and start griffining. The Thassa's might be kind of bad. Thassa has not been a well-positioned card for a while. Okay, looking for blue mana. Uro. Oh, with 2 bonds, this can get into the graveyard a little faster than usual, but I don't think I'm that interested. It would be nice if I didn't have to bond for blue mana and could find a Griffin Aerie instead. Blue-green Ugin Ramp? I'm smelling some blue-green Ugin Ramp. Oh no, we've got an Aerie and a blue source. Darn. Well, I've got Thassa Guard Mage. Passing on an Aerie feels bad. If I play that next turn, I get to play Bond and trigger it the next turn and try to hit a blue source off the Bond. I also have Temple to maybe scry me into a blue source so I can play Elite Guard Mage. Let's just take Griffin Aerie. Let's take the card the deck is named after. Camera's a bit too high. Let's see if we can adjust that. Good point, Bottles. You're absolutely right. I was a fool to think of doing anything else. And we got the blue source anyway. I think I'm pitting this at the bottom, honestly. I've got lots of elite guard mages already with Thassa. I just want to be finding Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Make sure I don't get completely ground out by an Ugin before I can beat it. Oh, okay, we're just playing both Ugins, huh? Huh. Well, that's annoying. This is going to be really hard to kill. Oh, never mind, it's +1. Okay, never mind. It's going to be pretty easy to kill. Nice knowing you, Griffin Aerie. Yeah, probably like Esper or Abzan is a better fit than Bant. I feel like you just need a bit more disruption than we have here. Maybe we'll build that version right after this game. Even if we miss out on Uro and Bond of Flourishing and Knight of Autumn. So opponent's 1 mana from Big Ugin. We're not anywhere close to...
We need to become Aaron Gertler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Let's see if we get Sublime Epiphany here. No? Great. Great, great, great. You love to see it. Okay, so... I think I'm just jamming Thassa. If my opponent's plan is to Ugin me, then so be it. Not much I can do about that. Good evening, Ride or Die. And hey, thanks for the follow, Rosa. One thing I'm annoyed about with these accounts is you can't craft lands. So I've got like my favorite lands that I can't play. But it's whatever. You know what? This 2/2 can hit me forever. I'm a life gain tribal deck. I don't need to block 2/2s. That's not what I'm here for. Uro still can't come out. Great. And once Uro does come out, we can tap it a bunch, which is cool. See if I can find me another Griffin Aerie. What are my faves? You mean cards in the set? Is that the question, Bottles? Uro Prince.
They're asking about your land.
Oh, my favorite lands. The Zendikar lands that I use are probably my favorites. I forget where I got them, but I do enjoy them. So the good news is I can recover from getting Ugin. The question is, what's the best set of cards to set me up for that? Let's try and get some more mana down and also draw into an ECD here. Oh, they were in the store, Kevlar Man. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. I don't think I'm going to bother changing them out at this point, but that'll be good for future reference. Okay, so even for opponent Ugins here, we're basically going to be even on mana. And we can set up Thassa Guard Mage again right away, and Ugin's going to be on a pretty small loyalty. Yep, there he is. Figured that was going to happen. Heck of a magic card, Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Heck of a magic card. Okay, so we've got 5 in the yard, can't get her out yet. Could just go Guard Mage Thassa. They can then Ugin down the Guard Mage, but I do get a couple cards and I get Thassa down. Could jam Tef. Tef's not doing a lot, but if it dies, I get to Uro, which is something. Ugin can't kill Uro as easily. Okay, found the ECD. That makes things easier. So now we'll just go with... I think... probably like Tef save the Guard Mage, and if they kill Tef, I get Uro out. And we're finding Bond of Flourishing, which can get me to more Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Ride or Die. There are no Barons in this deck. Baron might be a good fit. I kind of slapped it together at random. I feel like Baron is more a card where I really want to play it in my like blue decks that need to beat aggro decks, and not as important for decks like this that are just life gain tribal. Hey there, Ace. So Ugin can kill the tokens from the other Ugin. They can get Uro out this turn. Uro doesn't really bother me. ECD plus Tef cleans that one up well enough. Okay, well they wanted this whatever it was. I wonder if it's the other Ugin. Oh, okay. What is Karn fetching for us today? Wouldn't love... I was going to say Godfaru's statue seems very possible. Wouldn't love that, but it's not that inconvenient. Like, I can just go ECD that thing. Could ECD that thing, could ECD Ugin right now. Ugin just deals 3 to something, so I don't really care about Ugin right now. I'm going to take out the statue and plan on Tef bouncing ECD, recasting ECD next turn, I think. Oh, very slow Modern Tron. If I were playing creatures that could attack, this deck would look very silly right now. I feel like Karn can't possibly have gotten enough good artifacts from the new set to be worth doing, but I don't know, maybe Solemn plus the Tome adds up to something. So Ugin can minus X to kill Elspeth Conquers Death, but then Ugin dies, which is fine. It's looking like they might get a couple of Uro triggers. Okay. That's perfectly acceptable. I assume the Hydroid Crises will pop out at some point. And what is Karn grabbing for you right now? Big Stone Coil will be a little annoying. Great Henge could be a thing. Sorcerer's Spyglass would be pretty fun. I could put on Tef, and then I'm not going to get this ECD back. That would be a challenge. Oh, wow. They just have 2 copies of Godfaru's statue in their sideboard. Alright, why the hell not? Why the hell not? Alright, could I get a Knight of Autumn? I do play a lot of Knight of Autumns in this deck. Alright, whatever. Alright, everything is expensive, so I can't quite... I could Tef bounce the statue. Doesn't help me that much. I could Tef bounce Uro. Feels like this wants to be like Tef bounce Uro jam Prince or something. Then Ugin minuses to kill everything. Oh, I can do my own Uro and then I can play out the land and then play Tef to bounce Uro? That seems fine. Karn can get the exiled artifact. Oh, good point, good point, good point. Alright, now I see, now I see. Suddenly I see. So this is going to let Ugin -5 to clear my board, but what are you going to do? Could also jam Tef, rescue my ECD. That actually seems better. Let's jam Tef, rescue the ECD. We have Uro to block their Uro. If they Ugin, then everything goes away. Not feeling super hopeful about this one since they're going to get another Karn activation later, but we have a chance. And this is also the scariest possible matchup for us. I knew going in that Ugin was going to be a problem. Blizzard Beam. I don't know, Espriorian Historic was pretty good when I was playing it last, and that was probably a more powerful format than we have now, because Companions were legal at their original costs, so I imagine Espriorian is still pretty good in Historic, unless M21 shakes it up more than I think it will. Really wish we'd gotten some new lands in this set. I'd be much more excited for Esper, Yorion, and Standard if that were the case, although it'll still probably end up being pretty good. Wow, our opponent is also playing Bond of Flourishing. Very cute. And Solemn. Nice. Look at all this colorless stuff to go with Ugin. Very cute. Very cute. Do I block here? I think I block here. I would love to force the minus on the Ugin, but it doesn't seem terribly realistic. I'll just ECD it next turn. All right, Kevlar Man, you should have just patented that. You shouldn't have put it in chat because now everyone's going to know about it. I feel sad. I tried to build every deck today so that it could theoretically beat Wilderness Reclamation, but I'm probably going to have some trouble against people who have built their decks that can't beat Wilderness Reclamation, like this deck. I'm trying to at least pay a little bit of respect here. They could have made this Godfrey statue into a 6/6. Just saying. There's that Knight of Autumn. Alright, we were looking for you, buddy. Thanks for showing up. The real question is, should I be ECDing Karn? Ugin gets to just hit something for 3 or exile. I guess I can exile all the enchantments. I don't want that to happen. So let's do this. Take down the Ugin. And do I even bother to play the Prince? If they have another Ugin, I would actually want the Prince as a follow-up. I think I'm not doing that. I think I'm just going to hold back on Prince. Maybe I can use it to blink Knight of Autumn and kill another artifact later. Yeah, Pith 80. I thought Statue was going to see more play than it did, honestly. It seemed like kind of an interesting finisher, but just a little too fragile, I guess. Okay. So Cultivate, Solemn, Bond of Flourishing, Growth Spiral, and Uro. Nice. Well, maybe that represents enough life gain that you can actually at least beat aggro with this deck. And Bond can easily find them another Ugin, like that one. So they can then minus the Ugin, take out ECD Knight. I have 2 more ECDs in my deck somewhere. This is just the first one that's been bouncing around. What's Karn doing this turn? Just plussing. Alright, another ECD? No such luck. Okay, well let's try and let's see if we can scry our way to one right now. Bottom both of these. No luck yet. Okay. Gonna do the Prince tricks that I get to keep a creature in play. Ideally, I can just keep Guard Mage in play here. We're gonna make sure to stack Thassa before Prince so that I can blink the Guard Mage, draw a card, then bring back Prince and bring back Prince, blink out the Guard Mage again so it comes back end of the turn. We may not have quite enough damage potential to kill our opponent at this point. It's a little sad we haven't found another Griffin Aerie, although I guess it would have just died to Ugin at some point. Well, there's one. So the opponent can minus 2 Ugin at this point and take out the Princes, but then Ugin's gone. We are going to mill out before they do at this rate, and they can bring back Uro this turn. I miss Agent of Treachery. I really wish they had just banned Yorion instead of Agent of Treachery. I mean, I love Yorion, but Agent of Treachery would be such a great card to be able to end this kind of game with. Don't even get... in Bolus's clutches anymore. Can't take these Planeswalkers. Nope, Pith 88, it's all best of one during the preview streams. Makes sense. I think because there are only like maybe 1,000 people, if that, playing right now, probably less. I think they're really trying to encourage everybody to play in the same queue. Yeah, we could have banned Luca too. Yeah, reboot. I mean, if this deck gets big, Mass Manipulation is the kind of thing that's going to make this deck regret that it ever existed. But as long as Jund, Sack, and Team Reclamation are the de facto best decks, and for now I see no reason to believe that they aren't still the best decks, Mass Manipulation is going to continue to be kind of garbage. Save is a cool sideboard card. When it goes for Tormod's Crypt, is that really the best thing they could find to do with that Karn? That's absolutely embarrassing.
Oh.
Tormod's Crypt. Oh, they tried to kill Thassa with Ugin, forgetting that Thassa was indestructible. That's a problem. And if they play Crypt and activate it, I can't activate Thassa ever because this Uro is never going to come out. But if I can keep Ugin's loyalty down, it still kind of kills Griffin Aerie, unfortunately. I mean, our opponent can beat us. At the very least, they can just mill us out. I don't think we can stop them from milling us out. But they seem a little bit puzzled by our failure to die so far, given everything they've done. Sometimes that'll happen when people bring Ugin in their decks. They're just like, I can win, right? I should be able to win. And they just stop, don't win. Yeah, Drunken Veg, I think Ugin has some potential against Jund. Doesn't really stop Cat Oven, but beats a lot of other stuff. Migration Path, too. Okay. Opponent's doing a lot of different things here. And they're not necessarily safe for milling themselves out. Be nice if there was some kind of like have enough life you win the game payout. That could be kind of cool here. But there's nothing quite that good. So now I have a choice of killing Karn, killing Ugin, or killing other Ugin. Tolsimir, Friend of Wolves. Doesn't do a lot. Actually, I can double fight the Uro. That's pretty good. Can also bounce the Uro, fight the Solemn, and that actually lets me get in with both creatures, meaning I get to kill 2 Planeswalkers. Or just kill Ugin, which seems good. Let's do that. Goodbye, Uro. Goodbye, Solemn. Yeah, Felidar Sovereign, that's what I was looking for. That would be a nice one to have here. Although I think we might be winning. It kind of depends on how many more Ugins they have, since I don't think they're going to beat Thassa in the long run. Not to mention the 2 Griffin Aeries. Not to mention Thassa just tapping all their stuff. They're at 39, so I do have to kill them at some point, but Griffin Aerie is pretty helpful for that, I think. The question is, do I play out the second one, or do I try and ward against like another Ugin? If they have another Ugin, I just lose. So let's not try and do that. Let's just play these out, try to kill them before they can find a third Ugin. If they're even playing 3 Ugins, although, who are we kidding? Of course they're playing 3 Ugins. I actually should have blinked Prince instead of Guard Mage there in case they did have the Ugin. Ooh, Frostlink's Ride or Die, that's the card. Okay, ECD is reasonable. ECD maybe means we can beat an Ugin. Derp! I stand correct. I don't actually think we can beat an Ugin. I think we're toast. We can... See what happened, Tammy? You know what Ugin does? Tammy didn't know what Ugin did. She was saying play it through. They could mill out still. They could mill out before they can kill us. But yeah, this... I think you can't... I think you're not allowed to play decks like this, as long as Ugin is... during the preview stream, you can't. If Ugin turns out not to be super playable in Standard, which is possible, you can probably play decks like this. Yeah, Bond. It's a little silly. Wow, is opponent already able to get Uro back out? How do they put so much stuff in their graveyard? Impressive. Although they could mill out. There's very much a possibility they still mill out. I wish I had some Krasis in this deck like I've been planning to. Well, that's nice, Beefeater. I've made no changes at all, but maybe it's just a better air today. Yeah, you're probably right, Alomi. But as a 1-2 of, our opponent's deck is just like an Ugin ramp deck that's just playing Ugin and I think That's basically the main win condition. So I'm going to take Ugin. Jam Tough, Bounce ECD. I suppose I'll take Uro with the next run of this. Part of me wants to take Karn, but that's probably silly. The opponent has the second backup Ugin probably means we die. That could be it too. Yeah, or I could just if I had just made this a Yorion deck, we'd be in better shape too. This could easily be an 80-card Yorion deck. What do we got? Ugin number 4? They're at 18 cards, and I'm at 46 life. But they are making, you know, more creatures every turn, so it's not like this is super likely to work. I'm also at 20 cards, so I can't do that much looping through my deck at this point. Hey, Snow Monkey. Probably Historic will be playable. Young Pyromancer's coming out soon. Yeah, I mean, is Ugin 6 even necessary in that one, though, Kevlar Man? Like, isn't Hydroid Crisis just much better than Ugin 6? Okay, opponent did have the 4th Ugin in hand. That's the preview stream, folks. Don't play decks that can't beat people who are just straight ramping on whatever they want.
No.
Well, that was fun. Let's try the Abzan version or the black-white version, something that can actually fight through the whatever our opponent was doing there, mostly by discarding their cards. Still, I think the deck acquitted itself pretty well. If it could hold out in that matchup, it's probably pretty good against everything else. Right, let's try this. Except for I actually had something going over here. Here we are. So are we just black-white? Let's just try black-white, see what that looks like. If I'm just doing that. This basically just turns into the black-white Doom Foretold deck, but without Doom Foretold and with Griffin Aerie. Seems fine. I actually don't know what these decks play. Is it really on? Is it on 4 Agonizing Remorse? 12 discard spells? Is that it? Could probably afford to cut a couple Fenlurker if I'm doing the Bell Haunt thing. We've got the Aries. Anything else that's gaining 3 life in our colors that we want to do? Not so much. Faith's Fetters? Is this card playable? This card locks down Ugin, which is nice. Really, really bad against a lot of other stuff, though. Really bad against Tef. So probably not Faith's Fetters. Ooh, wait. I can play Snapdax in this deck. Hold on. Do I get to just play Snapdax with Burglar Rats and Griffin tokens and Yarok's Fenlurkers? Wait a minute. That might actually be a thing. It is 5 mana. Yeah, I think the Burglar Rats are kind of a little much. There are a few too many. Alright, maybe Snapdax is too cute. What else can we do? Gain. I'm just going to look for gain 5 life, and then I'm going to give up on specific numbers. Elspeth Sun's Nemesis doesn't super work with Griffin Aerie, in that it doesn't... life gain is not exciting, but probably work in a couple. Work in some Yorions. And I guess this is a Treacherous Blessing deck as well. Are we running 4 copies? We're not doing Doom Foretold, so you have to be a little bit careful with this, even though we do have a bunch of life gain. Yeah, Galathan, the unfortunate thing about Omen of the Sun is it doesn't trigger Griffin Aerie. And basically all the cards in our deck either gain 3 life, or they don't gain any life. And I think it's better to keep it that way rather than trying to combine small life gain effects. That just makes everything harder. Any life linkers I might be missing? There's Cubward, and there's Archon of Sun's Grace. This triggers off Griffin Aerie, and it does also hit to trigger Griffin Aerie. That might work. In which case I probably shouldn't be doing Elspeth. How many enchantments are we talking right now? 11? Can we do more? Can we do more? Gideon would be interesting if it could give itself lifelink. It can't. It's also not that interesting. ECD, of course, is going to fit in here somewhere. I'm just trying to do all my life gain synergies, get that out of the way. We've got Baneslayer Angel. No. Not a playable Magic card in this day and age. Blood Operative. Probably not. Grim Dancer, 3/3 Menace lifelink. Murderous Rider does not gain enough life. Veto. No. Cavalier of Night. No. Sorin. Luris? Luris can replay Burglar Rats and stuff, and it does hit for 3 with lifelink. There's Kunaros as well. This card probably isn't main deckable, but what if it was? Blacklands can block to gain 3, that's true, but otherwise doesn't really fit. Revitalize. I think I need my cards to do a little bit more than that. But it's not the worst suggestion. Biolante is 7 mana, can't do that. I don't think we're going to be doing Snapdax. If we did Kunaros, Snapdax becomes more realistic. If we had like a couple of these. The new Vivian. Unless she's black or white. Probably not. Well, Kevlar, man, if we have an ECD like Resolve and then Kunaros lives, I don't super mind the ECD being turned off, especially since we can blink it with Yorion and stave that off for a while. I feel like in games where Kunaros is just staying in play, you're probably fine. So we're working for these. That gives us 38 lands. We can afford to run out a couple more cards here. Could just go to the 3rd Fenlurker. 4th Blessing. Oh, the new Liliana. What does that card do again? I don't think it's... I feel like you need some synergy to work with the new Liliana. Waker of the Dead. People lose 3 life. Everybody's discarding cards. I think this one's a little underpowered, unfortunately. 4 Blessing. Yeah, we're on... did we add the 4th? Here, this makes you... This step's a bit annoying that we have to craft and then throw it in. Alright, so that gives us... Let's do that. Guess Art feels just kind of garbage, right? I think I have to play 1. I don't think I'm going to play more than 1. So this is 37 land. We can go to 36 pretty safely. You know what? Screw Castle Ardenvale. I don't think that card is a reasonable card. Shadow Spear for the Princes. Seems a little challenging to get it down. It's 3 mana to actually activate it, and we have nothing else that's really big with it. I will note we have 16 enchantments now. 16 enchantments to go with Archon, because we have the ETDs as well. It seems like enough to be reasonable, especially since we can blink enchantments with Yorion as well. Cardboard Live is not updating. Oh, I wonder if Cardboard Live doesn't have the new cards in it yet? That's tough. Dang. Okay, so Cardboard Live probably isn't going to update for the stream. That's tricky. We'll just have to make sure to post all the deck lists at the end of the stream, I think. Alright, so we'll try, I think, a match with Black-White X Griffin. We might not stick with it for long because it's kind of a similar play pattern to a deck that people are already familiar with. And then maybe move on to some Blue-Green Jolrael midrange. That's one I'm excited to see how it plays. Black-white Griffin coming right up. You picked your crunchiest snack to eat while sitting on the background of the stream? She's picked her crunchiest snack.
Fight me.
So aggressive. Wow, Exilam isn't even a VIP. SMH. Alright, well, this has a Griffin Aerie. Let's try it. We've got the card the deck is named after. Opponent's playing Dog Sleeves. If this is Dog Tribal, I am here for it. Ooh, black and white. This could be dogs. This could be dogs. Hello. Do it. Play a dog. That's a cat. Oh, it's a cat. No. No. Get out of here. So disappointing. All right. Got a Griffin. There's a dog. Oh, our opponent's playing the cat dog tribal lord thing. That's cute. That's cute. Gladly take a 5th land, and... Huh. Could Prince gain 3? Make another Griffin? Could also jam Fenlurker so that Yorian's better next turn. Let's just jam Fenlurker so Yorian's better next turn. See if this Fabled Passage gets a forest, as I suspect it will. Yep. Then we can... Oh, 9 lives. Alright, opponent's playing the cat dog theme jank. You'll love to see it. Yeah, but I can follow up Yorian with a Prince too. But you are correct. Kahira does not have much synergy with the doggos. It is nice that this triggers so very visibly, so that no one's going to be fooled. Yep, I am now realizing though that like the Yorian's tricky with Griffin Aerie because this Othakai is not going to gain me life until the end of turn trigger has already passed, so that's a little disappointing. Yorian not retriggering Griffin Aerie means that Yorian's like a lot less interesting for the deck than I had hoped. But whatever, this is still fine. And we're never going to be using this life gain ability on the Prince as long as we have a Yorian, but it is nice that Griffin Aerie makes the failure case of Prince much, much better than it would be otherwise. Animal Sanctuary. Okay, well here we go then. Prince can't be blinking Yorian, but we are just going to gain 3 life, make a Griffin off it. But probably want to remorse my opponent's last two cards first, just to make sure. This card's not going to do a lot. Next turn. Alright, we'll just remorse them first. Okay, grabbing Cub Warden. Don't care so much about the other pack leader. I guess I'll just gain 3 off Prince this turn, and then next turn I have Remorse in case they draw a spell, plus bring Yorian to hand. Shatter the Sky. That is a weird one to play in that deck. Color me confused. Oh yeah, I mean, well, Pack Leader doesn't grant Indestructible, though. Pack Leader grants Prevent All Combat Damage, which is not the same thing. Our opponent might think it gives Indestructible. That may be what's happening. So I could Yorion, but Yorion doesn't do much besides start. I guess it kills a Pack Leader and starts Prince Loop. That's fine. Hey there, Blazion Ninja. So the Animal Sanctuary can protect the Pack Leaders from Oath of Chaos. We're just going to go at our opponent's face, since we can't kill these. Okay, well that was Black-White Yori, and it felt basically how I expected it to feel. I wonder if I should try the Bant deck again. And just try not to run into Ugin Ramp? Let's keep bouncing around. I'm probably going to try a bunch of different decks, and then if I really, really like one, I'll stick with it for a while. Let's play a blue-green Jolrael. I'll talk about the deck a bit first, because Cardboard Live's down. So I am a huge fan of Jolrael, Moanvili Recluse. I think this card has a lot of potential. Don't know where yet. Basically a 1-2 that generates a 2-2 every turn, kind of similar to Griffin Aerie vibes. Also can generate a 2-2 at the turn she comes into play if you have like an Opt, or if you go like Moanvili Jolrael into Growth Spiral, anything like that. What I really wish we had is another like 1-mana draw one, even like a Reach Through Mists that just draws a card for 1 mana and nothing else would be pretty good. I'm trying to combine Jolrael with a Stormwing Entity in this deck. We're playing a bunch of 1-mana things, which can bring this out on turn 3. Growth Spiral can also bring it out on turn 3. We've got Uro to trigger Jolrael. Lovestruck Beast is here because it's a 1-mana sorcery to trigger a Storming Entity, and also a fine defensive body. But I'm not sure about this one. Something else I've considered is trying to go black-green with this card, so I can play Village Rites, which is a really good way to draw 2 cards at instant speed, which can let you trigger this on your opponent's turn. It also works with Priest of the Forgotten Gods, works with a bunch of other stuff. I had a black-green kind of Village Rites Priest Jolrael deck, which I eventually just turned into mono-black, which we'll see later, maybe. For now, let's try this. The 6-drop sorcery. Oh, you're right. There are those. I forgot that. Well, the problem is it'll me that the Cycler doesn't trigger a Storming Entity. That's why I'm playing actual instants and sorceries. Like, you can trigger Jolrael with cycling, it's true, but you need a... Yeah. She's alright with a bunch of Cyclers. Question is, are any of the Cyclers better than the cards I'm already playing? Possibly the Draw 4 is, but I'm not sure. Let's try it the way it's built. We can get in a bunch of nice fast games, experiment with stuff. Hey there, Ace. Yeah, the thing about Jolrael that actually really excites me is her second ability, which means that even if you have a draw that's just like Jolrael plus like a Growth Spiral plus an Uro, you actually can set up to be able to kill like a Wilderness Reclamation deck before they kill you with the right draw. Yeah, Colorman, I think we could go blue. We could go Teamer with this pretty well. I'm just trying the focused version of it with slightly better mana to see how it feels and then figure out what weaknesses we need to cover for. This hand seems fine. It's got a turn 3 Storming Entity. Trackdown is probably pretty bad. This card is not really a constructed looking kind of thing, but we'll see. Could go more of a creature base and run like Incubation plus Baron plus Fibblethip. Also possible. Alright, so this wants to just be Honestly, this feels like an okay turn to play Trackdown. I'm not that interested in playing Brazen Borrower here. And next turn we get to Storming Entity. Let's see if I can find a Jolrael. Nope. Alright, well, I'll just draw this land. Cute. So now they have this 3-1. We're just going to do this into this. Get to Scry 2 off this. Still looking for Jolrael. Jolrael would be great. I don't hate Opt. I'll take an Opt. Opt also fills my graveyard up for Uros later. What's the odds your opponent can gain 3 life off of something this turn? Let's find out. Show me your combo, opponent. Show me your combo. Vanishing Light. That does not gain life. That's fine. Give me another Scry 2 later when I bounce it. In fact, am I doing that now? There's my girl. Can't play her out this turn because we've already drawn our second card. But now we can just go Entity. And now I can hold on to this Opt because it might trigger Jolrael again. I like Uro. Definitely feels nice to have this level of card selection. Indulging Patrician's not a problem. Okay, so now we're just all about Jolrael. Uro, draw that card. Nice, even got the Opt to make Storming Entity able to attack. That's great. But this thing has lifelink, so I think I'm probably just going to use this Opt defensively to hold it off. Yeah, you can have that. Yeah, I'm curious if this is like... Oh, I didn't even realize Silver Smoke Ghoul is a vampire. Huh, maybe this is a legit vampire deck. Maybe there's like Sorin and stuff in there. Now I'm curious. No, the Jolrael doesn't do much, so I can give all these creatures base power and toughness 3. Not that exciting, but this is the point where I start holding on to lands. Even just like a Fabled Passage would be fine, because Fabled Passage gives me Uro. We are going to bottom this land. You mean mine or the opponent's? Probably both, honestly, are pretty fun to play. Do I start getting with the Entity? It gives them 1 point of damage off the Perdition, but that seems fine. Let's start attacking with this. And could just jam Lovestruck Beast. Let's play the other Entity out. These things do add up power and toughness-wise in a hurry. If I can like string together some Opts. Ooh, Fabled Passage goes to the graveyard and gives me Uro, but still think most of my draws are better than land. Okay, this looks good. I'm guessing that MTG bot's probably not updated yet either. Sadly. Another Borrower? I can go for another Borrower. Doing a lot of good damage in the air here. Hey, next turn, if I really want to, I can make everything into a 5/5. Veto, hey there. Definitely this deck wanted to have its Sorin in. So if everything is a 5/5, we can't attack with Lovestruck Beast still. We do get to attack with 7 creatures, so that's pretty lethal looking. Let's try it. I just want to activate this card because it looks fun. Oh, no, that's true. That's true. You're very right, Benetti. That would have been much better. Thanks for the tip. That's a combo to remember. Okay, deck worked like a charm. Opponent didn't really find their key synergy cards, but I still like the way that felt. We'll play this one again. Also, unlike Life Gain Tribal decks, it actually generates quick games of Magic. Did I get to attack with Lovestruck there, Adelumi? I didn't have a 1/1. I'm pretty sure. Let's see, how did that feel? That felt okay. What I was really looking for was a way to fit Edgewell Innkeeper in here, because it draws cards for Jolrael, and it also makes Lovestruck Beast work. But it's super anti-synergistic with Storming Entity, sadly, so I don't think it quite works out. Trackdown did not impress there, huh? Really didn't. Man, oh man, maybe I do want the Cycler, even if it doesn't trigger Entity. So weird, which cards are and aren't included in this account by default? Land count felt fine. This deck can do a lot of stuff with mana. Let's just try one boon, kind of in the same vein of cycling decks. You might get to play it eventually sometimes. Most of the time you won't end up doing it. Hello? My goodness, it doesn't want me to be crafting this Boon of the Wishgiver. Hello? I do think Arena just crashed.
Oh, that's weird.
Alright, try again, maybe? Still not crafting this. Is it going to let me play the deck? Okay, so the craft image is broken, but it says the deck is playable? Well, this will be an adventure.
If you never draw it.
If I never draw it, I'll know, yes. Imagine Blop. Oh, I want Sublime Epiphany to be good too. None of the other cards I wanted to play with really synergized with it. If I did play Sublime Epiphany, it would probably just be in some kind of boring blue-green ramp deck, so I've held off for now. This seems fine. I can get Stormwing down on turn 3. Is that true, Kevlar Man? I feel like I haven't had to craft many cards from the older sets, but maybe you're right. I may just not have been counting very well. Well, that's quite an endorsement, Ace of Rainbows. The card's so good that you need 4 copies for EDH. If this is just another blue-green Ugin ramp deck, these Brazen Borrowers are not going to be the best. I think it's nice that Storming Entity actually pressures, well, doesn't really pressure Ugin's loyalty much since it just dies to the +2. Alright, we taking Jolrael? I don't know that I am at this point. I can, like, scry into lands with the Storming Entities, possibly, and then cast Jolrael the next turn, but would I rather just play another Storming Entity next turn and try to kill them with Storming Entities? Let's bottom Jolrael here. Just want lands at this point. Ooh, for a second I thought I was getting Mystical Disputed, but surely no one will bring Mystical Dispute to the preview stream. Alright, land. We'll take the one that doesn't shuffle the other one back first. Blue-green ramp, surprise, surprise. Man, people are going to have so much time after the preview stream to do this. Why do it now? I'm kidding. It makes perfect sense to be playing blue-green ramp now. Well, these brazen bars still need to bounce. I'd be pretty sure we could kill them before things got too crazy. But we'll see. Oh, imagine Blob. I mean, Ugin is going to be much less noxious than Wilderness Reclamation to play against. It's much, much easier to attack a blue-green ramp deck that has to cast 8 drops than it is to fight what our opponent is doing right now. See? This is the card you have to be concerned about. Man, they could actually cast Sublime Epiphany here. That would be pretty brutal. Let's see if we're getting Epiphanied. Not Epiphanied. Nice. Nice. Well, young Cyanide, I feel justified. I tried not to build decks that had no way to beat Wilderness Reclamation, and we'll see if I succeeded. Alright. Didn't want that one. Ain't about to pay 6, but I will just bounce it again. Thanks. Goodbye. Woof. Goodness, do I just triple bottom? I think I triple bottom. Even if I miss, it's fine, because that land wasn't doing anything for me anyway. And nice, Lovestruck Beast means that either Storming Entity is lethal if it hits. Also, even if they deal with both entities, the 1/1 plus the 3/3 3/1 could technically kill our opponent. Never mind, I stand corrected. We do need to have both the entities get through. So what new cards are they playing besides Cultivate? It might just be Blue-Green Reclamation, but what does that imply about the finish? Oh, Discontinuity! I see, that's cute, Alright, that resolves. So yeah, blue does get a 6 mana instant speed, and the turn spell. That's obnoxious. Very obnoxious. Yeah, PTH88, I wouldn't mind at all. I think this card just limits the design. I would say it limits the design space for instants, except it clearly doesn't limit the design space for instants. Because they keep designing stupid freaking instants to go with it. Are we about to use discontinuity again? At least the discontinuities don't go into the graveyard, so they can't trigger Uro. Wait, what? I think our opponent did that wrong. Well, I'll take it. Let's don't need this for lethal since our opponent just ended their own turn. Alright, we're all learning things today. Absolutely deserved. I feel no yes, good game. No mercy. Okay, well, we're 2-0 with this pile so far. Maybe we switch over to Mono Black Cat Rights now a little bit. What do we got here? So this is me just trying to do an Archfiend's Vessel deck. Basically playing a bunch of Lurises and Call the Death Dweller to bring that back. Playing around with Village Rights plus Liliana's Standard Bearer as well. This card seems potentially, like, super busted to me, but I don't yet know whether that's actually going to be the case. It's possible this deck focused a little too much on drawing cards, not enough on killing the opponent. It could be better if I included green or red or both, but y'all already know that about how these, mono-black sack decks work. Let's just try it as is for now. At the very least, it'll be blisteringly fast whether we're winning or losing. Yeah, PTH80, I think the flash and the fact that it works on token creatures is enough of a benefit to make it quite a bit better than Midnight Reaper. And Midnight Reaper is already pretty good. Should probably have some Lazotep Reaver in this deck somewhere, but I haven't thought too much about where to include them yet. It is nice that, like, unlike some decks that just, like, draw a bunch of cards and die, this deck actually has, like, a solid win condition that just happens kind of as a natural result of drawing all its cards, which is that you get to cat oven people. Well, we'll see, Cavalryman. We'll see. I think that's what a lot of people were saying about Priest of the Forgotten Gods when that one came out, and it somehow wound up being good enough. Well, Drunken Vike, I'm not going to be playing very many cat oven decks in this format. 24 lands might be a little high, huh? We are playing 21 drops. Ooh, Obsessive Stitcher. That's cute. Pretty good defense, honestly. And what sorts of things will our opponent be reanimating? Drakuseth? Some kind of friggin' whale thing? Boreas, possibly Sublime Epiphany. Impervious Great Worm. That one's fine. Oh, I see. They're running Carrion Grub combo. Very cute. Rotting Regisaur works with Carrion Grub too, I guess. Let's, So we're going to be blocking with Archfiend's Vessel, so I'll attack with Gutter Bones. Since I can get it back for free and it triggers Standard Bearer. Am I casting Standard Bearer now, or am I waiting? Could just play the other Vessel out. Could also just wait it and triple block the Grub and then cast Standard Bearer. That would have been better. Yeah, there was no reason to attack there unless I was going to attack with multiple things, which I wasn't. I think I'm pretty down for Standard Bearer, though. Let's just get the one card off of it. Oh, I see. That's the combo. That's actually kind of nice. You can play that in the graveyard. All right. Well, without Priest of the Forgotten Gods, that's not one where... Oh, well... If you could find us... All right, if we could have found a sack outlet, we could have won that one, because we could have brought back the Vessel to make some demons to block with, but we have died. Our opponent certainly hit the combo there, and we had no interaction for it. Which is the problem about playing decks with no interaction in them. Ace of Rainbows, yeah, I think Jolrael and Nadir Kraken want you to do some of the same things. The problem is that Nadir Kraken is pretty bad as a card. Is UGX going to be the best Sublime Epiphany deck? 6 drops are still hard to play, Imagine Blop. But I mean, you could probably make it work in blue-white or something. Seeing that makes me want to queue up my 4 Brazen Borrowers deck again, but whatever. It's always nice to play against folks we know. Hey there, Changalinga. Yeah, I decided deliberately to keep Trail of Crumbs out of this, just to see what would happen. Boy, can I keep this hand? If I can get like a Woe Strider, it goes off, I'll keep this. Any sack outlet to go with the Double Vessel call seems good enough. And alright, well, this is a great hand to keep against Scorch Spitters. Feel like we should have the edge in this game. What I could have done there was cast the vessel into a village rites on the block, and then just reanimate both vessels next turn. That might have been better. I feel like we'll have some stuff to do on turn 3 that we can then curve into call on turn 4. Cavalcade, don't really care. Oh my goodness, they prioritized killing Archfiend's vessel. Someone has learned the wrong lessons. Second Cavalcade ain't bad, but I think we've got ourselves the slight clock advantage. For a second, I thought that it just didn't work. I forgot that it has to enter the battlefield and then exile. Very true, Vike. I expect they're doing some Chandra's, whatever it's called, stuff. They just play a card from hand. They just definitely play that land from hand. This is more like it. This is what the deck's supposed to do. Oh, still don't love to see Torbrand, though, but they are... I absolutely should have played Cavalcade into Torbrand. That would have put me practically dead. Our opponent made several mistakes there. So that's whatever. I think we're just going to hit them with the 5/5s and then and to finish the job. Did Crokies really build goblins today? I should check that out later. Oh my goodness. That actually kills me. Very nicely done, opponent. Yeah, that kills me, right? That's 6 attackers? That's 6 attackers. Yeah, I'm dead. Goodness gracious.
You got.
Actual only top deck in their entire deck that wins the game. But you gotta respect Cavalcade. That makes me want to start playing Life Gain Tribal again, of course. Let's do Bank Griffin Blink again. If we don't run the blue-green Ugin, this should be much more fun. Sad thing about the mono black deck is it should probably just be playing a bunch of Claim the Firstborn, and then we'll just be playing Rakdos Sack again. Up against the Nerdy Steve, good streamer. What are we doing here? Looks like white-green counters. That's definitely one of the matchups I was expecting to see a lot today. Curious to see how this goes. If only their turn 1 had been a Chamber Sentry. Feel better about this Knight of Autumn. What do I want now? Just Charming Prince. Basically is like a cheap Elite Guard Mage, the way things are going. Yep. Get ready to see a lot of this Gervin Standard. This deck seems real. This deck seems very, very real. Oh, Teferi, look at that. Look at that, drew the Teferi. Don't mind if I do. Basri Ket. Actually works pretty well with Conclave Mentor too. Not too shabby. Yep, green-white snakes. I built this one too. Didn't include Basri Ket, probably should have. I really don't think so, Porius. That deck was an extremely fast aggro deck that was trying to basically just kill the opponents really quick. I don't think a 4-mana Planeswalker that doesn't really affect the board when it comes in is what it was looking for. So, very worst, next turn we get 2 more Guard Mage triggers, so I don't think we're about to die. But it's going to be a long struggle for the board. Could really use a Griffin Aerie. Okay, that one's going to get big too. I thought about this too and wasn't sure whether to include it, but works pretty well. Admittedly, our deck is, oof, every temple. That's not good. Well, we might get mauled by this stuff. Yeah, this deck probably isn't aggressive enough, interactive enough either. Super down to get Tef, though. That was the wrong order. Let's see. That is true, Porius. I mean, you don't really need to discard Croxa for free, though, right? Like, Croxa... The point of Croxa is it discards itself because you just cast it? Yeah, that's a lot of offensive pressure. Cannot deny that is a lot of offensive pressure. And the Pelt Collector having Trample is an issue. Glad this thing doesn't have Trample. So I can bounce Loxodon, kill Basri. Burrow puts me to 7. Which is not enough, because I'm tasting much more power than that. Can't kill Basri then. Could bounce Pelt Collector, which is the only Trampler, but I don't really have any creatures to speak of here. Yeah, I needed a Griffin Aerie at some point early in this game to win. Green White counter seems really strong, but I'm not that interested in playing it. It seems kind of like a little too obvious as far as good decks go. Maybe I'll build Abzan Aerie. Gives you that nice built-in interaction. Whoops. Let's see what else goes in here. We got some ECDs. We get some discard spells. We get some flying thingies, probably. We get some casualties of war. Leaving us with 39 lands at that rate. What else? Could run Gift of Paradise. That's a ramp that works with Archon and Griffin Aerie. Could run some Night of Autumn. Probably should just be running some Night of Autumn. Ooh, we could run some Mythos too. Mythos is certainly tempting. Could run some main deck Yorion. Probably should run some main deck Yorion. But this already puts us at 36 lands. Do I need the bonds? Not so much. Probably 3 forests is about as many as I want to play if I'm running a bunch of Basilica Bell Haunts. Wake up to 4 Temple of Silence. No, I'll have more forest than that. Gives me 18, 22 white sources. I can spare the last forest, I think. Once in a while I'm going to draw 2 forests and a Bell Hunt and hate my life, but this is probably okay. Yeah, Zeusagrill Frenzy looks juicy. Basically, I've decided that today we're done playing decks that can't interact at all. If I do play anything, it should be a deck that can actually kill a creature or bounce a creature or something. More interaction than just 4 Tef. Young Cyanide, you mean Jolrael? Is that what you mean by Wolf Lady? She makes cats. But maybe there's a different card I wasn't thinking of. Well, there's the Forest Bellhaunt hand. We do have Gilded Goose. Oh yeah, right. I forgot that Triomes exist. There should absolutely be 4 Triomes in this deck. I literally just forgot that Triomes are Magic cards. I'll have to go fix it after this. Someone remind me. Up against Jim Davis. What's Jim up to? Very curious. Black-white life gain. Alright, wonder if there's some Griffin Aeries in there. I'll just go for Remorse. I don't know what's going to combo with this Pridemate, but I'd rather not see it. Everything combos with Pridemate. We got Selfless Savior, second Pridemate, Daxos Hawk. Huh. Can't really kill either Pridemate, so I think I'm kind of honor-bound to take the second one here. Could have had Basilica Bellhaunt on turn 3 if I'd cast the Goose off Temple Garden. That might have been a reasonable thing to do. Veto combo. Is there some kind of, I guess there's the Revival Revenge combo? But fortunately there are a couple of cards off of that. Oh, you mean Tolsimir, Young Cyanide? Yeah, I had Tolsimir in the Bant version of this deck. I wouldn't call it a meme, it's just a reasonable anti-aggro card that feels like it's kind of doing something redundant with what much of the deck is doing. Kind of weird to see the Pridemate attack. Opponent can't play Daxos and the Savior this turn. So they're just going for those two. Makes sense. Another Remorse takes Daxos. Is that what I want to be doing? I could go... Let's see. This turn... Oh, I could actually do Remorse into Prince Blink Goose. That seems pretty good. And I can just Bellhaunt the next turn or get Yorion out. Yeah, let's do that. I'll Blink Goose because that actually gives me a Basilica Bellhaunt next turn. Pridemate gets to attack as a 3/3, which then turns into a 4/4 with the Hawk hitting me, which is a little sad, but this way I'm blocking the other creatures that Jim has. Bellhaunt's not actually going to take any cards from Jim here, which is a little bit of a problem, but we should be able to assemble a good chump blocking squad for the Pridemate if we have to. Alright, so... thinking this is just Bellhaunt. At least sets up a double block on the Pridemate, forcing the sack on Savior. Or next turn I can just go Prince, Blink, Bellhaunt, get Yorion into my hand. That's another option. Okay, there's the Revival Revenge. You can see the problem with trying to play a combo deck around this card. It was just stuck in Jim's hand. He couldn't use it for anything. Yeah, not a good look there. So am I trading Basilica Bellhaunt for Selfless Savior? I don't think so. I'd just rather blink this next turn. Although, with Jim having no cards in hand, there's not really any difference between just gaining 3 life off the Prince and blinking the Bellhaunt, so we'll just do this. We've now got a Prince Bell Hunt loot that gains a good amount of life, but we do have to deal with the Pride Mate at some point. Guess I should start attacking.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Press DT, thanks for the follow. I think we're not chumping Pride Mate just yet, since this Prince offers a lot of free value next turn, and I don't expect to suddenly see the Pride Mate get pumped to lethal. Do I attack with Princes? You can double block one of them, takes 2 tokens out, and then I do get to blink the other one with Yorion. I think that's fine. Gato Maestre, nothing here is worthy of being called anything close to a meta deck yet. I'm playing a bad Yorion pile against a bad black-white life gain pile. But we're having fun. We're definitely having fun. Good to note that Griffin Aerie, if I did find it, would let me still make a Griffin immediately, even in its later stage of the game. But being an unimpressive top deck does mean it may not be a super long-lasting idea.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Do we exile Yorion? If we exile Yorion, all the stuff we get back is just gonna... Maybe I honestly scry with Prince. Could use like a... Honestly, could use like a Griffin Aerie. Let's just go for the scry. Arcana Sun's Grace looks good too. Ooh, okay. Faith's Fetters. Well, it's not often that card's going to do much of anything against me, so well done by Jim to get that off. Am I obligated to block the Pride Mate? Jim can't gain 1 life at instant speed, right? Can't, but I don't want the Selfless Savior to be lethal yet, probably. But I do like attacking back. This is fine, right? Go to 1. I'll go to 1. Because I have a lifelink blocker, I think I can afford to go to 1 here. I'm also at 4 with the food, which is reasonable. Well, Goris, what are they? I'm actually a little bit surprised that you can add that fast with just with that number of cards. And press DT, no, there's been no Veto life gain. I think Veto is looks cute, but is wildly overrated. What are you gonna tell us, Goris? Don't hide the light under a bushel or anything. Alright, so we're now priced into blocking the Pride Mate. We'll make another food. It's going to be close. If I don't find any good spells, it's going to be close. Well, we can agree to disagree on that one, Goris. We can agree to disagree. Griffin Aerie, there's my card. There's my magic card. Sadly, can't cast this and Bell Hunt in the same turn. But I can play this, sack a food, leak Archon as a blocker. Seems reasonable. Oh, we get the Pegasus, actually. So now, yeah, I'll definitely attack with Archon here. If only this were each turn. If only this were each turn, I'd be very happy. Benetti, there's no way. The draw half your deck combo is a 7-mana card, and you can't generate 7 mana on turn 3 in Standard. I think it would take some kind of like miracle, quadruple Grazer draw, maybe. Okay, so we've gained our life. We get to trigger the Aerie. Yeah, now Pridemate's no longer concerned because we've got our constant source of blockers. Yeah, Zagzags, I think Veto is around Heliod's level on, like, standard power level. Possibly a little worse. Oh yeah, there's the Emberth Ritual, technically, if you want to play one red spell. What's the turn to win in Standard Ace of Rainbows? What's the... I assume it's a joke here. But... Hey, PSG Lois, thanks for the follow, by the way. Sorry I missed you there. People, you're all talking about all these rumors. Just name the combination of cards. It's not that hard to type out 2 card names or 3 card names. Yeah, I don't... you can't kill someone on turn 2 in Standard. You can't deal 20 damage in Standard. You can't trigger a win condition. You know what is busted, Gorus, is Cat Oven and Mayhem Devil. What's not busted is Cat Oven and Veto. Imagine a Mayhem Devil, but it's a 1-3 instead of a 3-3, and it doesn't kill your opponent's creatures. Ace of Rainbows on turn 2 win in Standard. You have are there still ley lines in Standard? Am I forgetting that like ley line of whatever is still legal? Maybe that's it. Oh, Triomes, I forgot. Okay, well, if Karsten says it's there, I believe it. I just imagine it takes 4 ley lines. Land's perfect. Okay. Alright, Ace of Rainbows, I believe ya. I forgot that Leyline Abundance was in Standard. I just didn't think we had any free spells right now. I thought that was an M19 for some reason. Yep, gotta get him next time. It's a long game. Would love to hit like an Oath of Kaya or some other kind of 3-drop here. Another Prince. I don't think I'm that interested in another Prince at this point. Do I want the Swamp? I think I actually keep Swamp Bottom Prince. We get to go Bell Hunt into Yorion, triggering a Prince Bell Hunt. Loop. Then again, I can keep the Prince and then have a play for next turn in addition to... Yeah, I'll keep the Prince. The next turn we can just like use the Prince, gain some life, then play Bell Haunt, then play Yorion. It's all good. You're thinking of Revenge. Gorus, you're thinking of Revenge. The combo that requires having a 3-mana creature that doesn't do very much in play, and then resolving a 6-mana sorcery while keeping the creature in play. Which is not a thing you can really do reliably in Standard, unfortunately. It's definitely cool. I'm looking forward to see people try to make it work. I just don't think it's super workable. Cheville. All right, we got ourselves black-green dudes with swords. Huh. So Bell Hunt took a card, they killed Bell Hunt, got their card back. Oh, this is like Death Touch Tribal? Maybe? Maybe they got the snake, whatever it's called. That would be cute. Sadly, Elspeth Conqueror's Death doesn't really do anything to them here. I wish it did. Well said, Drunken Vix, well said. Magic, thanks for the host. I'm just going to get the Scry on here. Don't really need to start a loop. I will take Casualties of War. That seems pretty good. This is cute. I'm glad we're killing Cheville now. Opponent having 0 ECD targets is definitely a little monka. But eventually they'll cast this Murderous Rider and we'll just get him. Okay, that is quite enough of Cheville. Boy, once rotation happens and Cheville becomes playable, it's going to be quite the card. Well, yeah, I should have realized they were going to have the second Cheville. Oh, man. I didn't kill any 3-drops, no? Yeah, our opponent just hasn't had a single 3-mana card this entire game. We might just lose, honestly, if our removal spells continue to have no targets. It's pretty bad. But fortunately, it does look like they're going to go for Murderous Rider this turn, which gives me something to do. Could have played ECD last turn. It's possible that would have been better. And I actually should just hold back with Yorion. I'm perfectly willing to trade with Cheville if it comes to that.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Okay, Archon's a little late. It's basically just Knight of the Ebon Legion food. But we gain some life, and then Elspeth Conqueror's Death can bring back the Archon, which is something. Hooded Blightfang, yep. Don't love it, don't love it. So Knight of the Ebon Legion can put me to... I'll go to 3 blocking one of these Death Touchers. I should definitely getting rid of one of these, and I think the thing we're getting rid of is Vampire here. Alright, we're still alive. We're still alive with ECD bringing back Archon into ECDing the Blightfang, getting the token off of Archon. This is super cute. Every single card, somebody loves it, and someone is going to play it. Okay, so just to be sure, it's definitely Archon back here, given they're playing ECD this turn anyway. Yeah, definitely Archon. And now, unless they have another Blightfang, immediately my my Archon just outpaces all of their random 1/1s. Stand corrected. Okay, so I block Vampire, go to 10. Knight puts me to 1. Price into blocking Knight, I think, dropping to 7, and trying to rip something good off the top. We are in trouble now. Definitely in some trouble now. I don't really have many ways to kill Knight of the Ebon Legion, do I? Okay, so we're going to go for, I guess, Goose Yorion. Makes me 2 food. I mean, Goris, it depends on what your definition of stupid combo is. That's not exactly a natural kind, as it were. There will probably be some very good combos, and there will probably be a lot of bad combos. As it has been, so it ever will be. Keeping Yorion back. Thing is, does Yorion ever do anything? Every single creature in our opponent's deck has Death Touch, I have to believe. What is ECD bringing back for me, though? If I get Prince back, I can blink Yorion, but Yorion doesn't really do anything doing the blink stuff. Guess if I play Visionary out, then I get to... Yeah, let's keep Yorion alive. Yeah, Goris, there should never be a turn 2 turn 3 in Standard that's actually any good. That seems very unlikely. Okay, so all the mediocre Death Touch dudes are out. Let's see if I can recover Gilded Goose is excellent news for that purpose. So yeah, definitely going for Prince Blink Yorion. And then we'll put out some stuff that draws cards and gains life, and we'll start the loops. Struggling against Death Touch Tribal is not the best look, but we'll see. Griffin Aerie, ooh, okay. Maybe we hold off a little on this Goose, just gain some life, make a Griffin this turn? Or do I? Wait. I play Goose, Yorion comes back, Yorion blinks. Yeah, let's actually gain the 3 life. That gives me the freedom not to have to block any stupid Death Touch things right now. Slightly dangerous, and if they top deck their 4th Eliminate, they can kill the Griffin and force me to chump the Knight with Yorion. If they draw another Blightfang, we're also in trouble. But most of their deck is 1-power creatures and lands, so we're doing okay. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Oh yeah, Yorion is overpowered. I'll play it because it's like a playstyle I love. I've loved Blink decks ever since Panharmonicon was a card, but the sooner they get rid of Yorion, the happier I'm likely to be as far as other options go in the Standard format, as long as they also get rid of Villainous Reclamation. Okay, so because I have this source of 3 life, I can still beat a Hooded Blightfang. Alright, opponent doesn't want to try and find it. Griffin Aerie. Nice work, Griffin Aerie. Being 2 mana mattered. L Nuts, hey, belated thanks for the follow. Let's remember to put some Triomes in before I forget. It's honestly been pretty rare for us to have as low as 3 meta decks. I feel like, at least since Oko was banned, there's always been some amount of variety. Maybe I'm forgetting some period. Okay, so we're going to cut some number of tap lands. Couple basics, Triomes come in. Incredibly sophisticated mana base here. The interesting thing is the black cards didn't feel essential in that game. We were just like white-green. Is white-green Yorion Aerie ever going to be a thing? Could also just go back to playing blue in this deck. I mean, Goris, we had like multiple top 8s with the black-white deck and multiple top 8s for a blue-white. No, 1 top 8 with a black-white deck and 2 top 8s for a blue-white Yorion? Unless, if you count all Yorion decks as the same decks, then yeah, you could maybe argue down to a 3-deck meta. Yeah, it was a good game, Sofa. We had some good ones today. What am I doing here? Do I run this out again? Let me try the Jolrael deck again. That was fun. I'd probably start a lot with the Death Touch deck, given all the eliminates they had there. Yeah, this hand's pretty bad, huh? Double bar, we don't even have a double blue? This is better? Yeah, track down. We gotta get the track downs out of this deck. Track down is terrible. That would be a neat change, Beefeater. I think I agree with you there. Okay, self-mill. Probably going to be a little bit faster than this clumsy stuff we're doing, but we'll see. Well, of course, there's Tail's End, if that's what you mean. Tail's End is a card. Okay, we see mountains too, huh? Mountain Radical Idea. I mean, Porios, they haven't printed any BS 3-mana Planeswalkers since, I guess, Oko, which is banned, so War of the Spark, it's really just this one anomalous standard set that goes away pretty soon. Hardcast the Narcomoeba. Alright, let's see what you hit off that. More Narcomoebas, very powerful. Probably not beating the turn 2 Drowned Secrets out of this deck, yeah. Decks without interaction. Tough one. I could bounce the secrets, run out Storming Entity there, and do track down later. What else is Brazen Bar going to bounce that's important to bounce? Maybe like a Fiend Artisan later? I think I'll wait. Just hoping to hit a Forest off this. Could also hit Entity. Yeah, let's just hit Entity. Well, I could Forest into hand or Entity into hand. I guess if I work it like this... Yeah, this is better, right? Because the next turn I go Forest, and then I can like opt Entity Borrower if I want to. Okay. Not much good to the scry here. But that takes care of Narcomoebas. Gotta be ready to start getting Creeping Chilled. Creeping Chill Ghoul is definitely a reasonable combo. If we had Jolrael, we wouldn't be as worried about the Ghoul, but right now we don't have a great answer to a 3-1 recurring. Jolrael, there's Jolrael. Right on time. Impulse. So if we draw Jolrael next turn, we play Uro. Draw Impulse, don't do much. I guess Impulse brings out Uro, which is fine. I'll bottom it, actually. And I could also just Lovestruck Beast token this turn, get 1 Prowess trigger. If I borrow... Alright, I'm actually down to borrow the secrets. Storm Manatee looks great, honestly. This card is big. I don't know about playing Opt in this kind of deck. It feels like you're leaning in a little to Drowned Secrets a little too hard at that point. So I could go for Jolrael Lovestruck Beast token Storming Entity. Seems fine. Look for some card draw off the entity. Hey, it's Boon of the Wishgiver. Cool. Into it, I think. I can't play it next turn, but I can play Uro into Lovestruck Beast and then save the Boon for later. That's fine. Boon refills me to the point where Jolrael can just kill, maybe. Alright, now our opponent's getting a little bit of turbo stuff going. They still haven't hit a Creeping Chill, though. There's one. Okay, so Creeping Chill goes off, Silver Smoke's coming back. Game is far from over. I also assume they probably got a Jason there somewhere, but we haven't seen it yet, and they're down to one card. Uro's going to keep us out of Creeping Chill range very easily, which is great. Hey, Incarcerated, what's up? It's a pretty aggressive Narcomoeba block, given these Storming Entities are going to be 4/4 betters in some future turn. Nope, Young Cyanide. This deck is trying to be a little bit more aggressive than that. We're trying to make sure that every time we, everything we play is trying to, like, contribute to the goal of getting our opponent dead. There's another Chill, but unless our opponent, like, can find Jace, I don't think they can realistically kill us. Jolrael's just putting out too much power. Are they dead? Not quite, I guess. He'll die to Jolrael next turn, though. I have no idea what Jolrael Centaur is. Is that a magic card? Okay, so opponent's probably dying next turn if they can't kill me here. I think I keep back a token just in... Well, I'm not blocking with the token. Keep back Jolrael just in case. I'll keep back 2/2/2s in case they have, like, Unsummon or something. Probably doesn't matter very much. It's down to 27 cards, so very, very, very unlikely that we get Thassa's Oracled out or something. Okay, well, let's try this. Take 30? Ah, okay, take 25. If they can mill, like, all their Narcomoebas and another Creeping Chill, they were still dead? They were still dead. Alright, that was good. That was good. Our opponent was doing some number of things. It really impressed me if you could find a way to get some tokens into this deck while still doing Jolrael things, but I'm not sure what that would be like. Yeah, I like this card a lot. It got surprisingly little hype, but I think Jolrael is great. Even in this pile of a deck. Actually, hold on. Let me take out Keep Track or whatever that card was called. That I just have not been impressed with that card at all. It hasn't been that hard to cast Storming Entities for cheap. Track Down, that's the card. I guess it gets me Jolrael. It's a 2 of... I just don't know. Just don't know. Thing is, it does say draw a card, and it's hard to get cards that actually say draw a card on them that offer better selection. Like Anticipate doesn't actually draw a card. There's Fibblethip. Fibblethip's actually kind of like doing the token thing with Jolrael. It doesn't make Storming Entity any cheaper. But it does let Lovestruck Beast attack. And it gets hit off Adventurous Impulse. Fibblethip's almost a thing. Try that. Yeah, Improbable Alliance, I don't know. Improbable Alliance was not good enough to be played in Cycling, and Cycling could literally trigger it every turn without any problems at all. Jolrael is a human. Of One Mind is possible. The problem is we're not playing any other humans besides the Lovestruck Beast tokens. And the draw 2 cards part is cool, but it doesn't trigger Jolrael any better than a draw 1 card would. So it's not the most impressive thing. Meteor Kraken's an option. It sort of is like doing more of the same thing, though. What you could do is just get rid of Storm. The entity being in the deck kind of is a limiting factor. If you got rid of the entity, you could then play a bunch more creatures and play like Incubation and Congruity and not worry about having so much of the cheap stuff. Malefic Scythe. Okay. But yes, Meteor Kraken not being very good is another problem. Let's see if they got some removal. Nope, just a big old Scorpion coming in. The Scythe is interesting. If you get this onto like a lifelinker or something, maybe you're cooking with gas at that point. Strider Scythe kind of works. Good taste, Porius, good taste. Jolrael is really sweet. Drawing cards, which you actually get to have a board presence too. It's good stuff. Do I block this? Do I block this? Part of me just wants to keep all my bodies on the board as long as possible, so that Jolrael gets to kill my opponent, but I think we do have to try and do a little bit of board control at least. Interesting, they went for the 1/1. I guess they're trying to stave off the beast. Malefic Scythe is definitely not one that's going to see any play in Standard, as long as Teferi is around, and probably as long as Brazen Borrower is around. You may be right, Illumi. If we can rely on getting Jolrael's ability off, maybe we're talking at that point. Worth a try. If I don't try it, I'm sure someone will at some point. I feel like you could say that about every 2-mana card that's ever been playable in Standard, Porius. Like, unless it was Stomp or something like that. Do I even bother bouncing this yet, or do I just play a Lovestruck Beast? Let's just play a Lovestruck Beast, since I have the other token down anyway. Might as well just go for this. We don't have a source of card draw at the moment. But Jolrael still turns a bunch of our random card draw spells into 2/2s. Priest is slightly dangerous, but we got borrowers for that. Jite, there we go, to Lumi. That's another good one. Time Walk. I guess there was never a standard format where you were allowed to play Time Walk, probably. Okay, so what are we doing here? Going in with... I'm threatening an attack for 20, if they don't block anything with Jolrael. Okay, well, to be fair, let's say cards that actually you have to tap mana to play them. But yes, chat is good at coming up with counterpoints. No one ever said chat was not good at coming up with counterpoints. That's a slightly surprising block, but I'll take it. If I get to bounce this, this priest and keep my borrower, into it. I'm into it. So I don't think we need to be playing towards Jolrael's ability too much here. I think we can just comfortably play our stuff and win. Question is this deck secretly just like a worse version of the white-green deck? The thing we get to do that's a little bit different is we're generating a lot of power from cheap cards, like Jolrael has made 5 power for us and could make more, while drawing cards and being maybe a little bit more resilient to sweepers, but realistically, the white-green deck is big and resilient with the Knights. White-green counters is probably the M21 influence deck that I think has the best chance of getting a lot of play. So if we don't play Borrow Route, next turn we get to attack for 24 with Jolrael. What's up? Call the Death Dweller. Sure, let's bounce the Priest in response, I think. Guess I could also bounce the Robber in response, take out the Scythe. Let's see, if they bring this back, am I worried about them using Priest? Not really worried about them using Priest, honestly. Just let this come back. Although, Yeah, I guess I'm getting to bounce the Priest. See if they want to sack it to Strider. I wouldn't mind it just being gone permanently. Remember, Strider has Death Touch for Lovestruck Beast. It's nice. Like that one. Really? Okay. not going to play out this land. This is definitely holding lands for Jolrael time. Yeah, I don't think so. I think this deck really wants to be building a board presence with everything it does. Tef can remove a blocker sometimes, but it's really not a very aggressive card. If I'm paying 4 mana for something, I would rather have, I don't know, like a random 4/4 that drew a card or something. And it might be correct to run some bigger cards in this deck. Right now I'm not doing anything that's like more than 3 mana. It's possible I want some like Elder Gargaroths or some even some Nissas or something maybe. Okay, that's lethal, right? That's 8 creatures attacking for at least 24 damage. We'll attack first before using Jolrael, that way Lovestruck Beast doesn't get turned off. Yeah, this second ability is something. Alright, gotta take a quick break here. I'll be right back though. Thanks everybody for watching. See you back in a couple minutes. All right, we're back, and to the suggestion to play dogs. These are the dogs in Standard. I do not quite think that Pack Leader makes a deck by itself, sadly. Mangara. Yeah, Big Tony, Mangara is like a weird card to brew with. It's just a card that will sometimes be good against your opponent and sometimes not, and there's not really anything you can do to make it better, because it's a card that depends entirely on what your opponent's doing. So it's more like a potentially great sideboard card or something, but not one that strikes me as like a build-around, per se. So we've done so far, we have the blue-green Jolrael deck, we've got a bunch of different Griffin's Aerie decks that we've been trying. There's kind of like extremely boring M21 over here that's running Jolrael. Jolrael, Baron, and Land Over Visionaries cards all to try out, but is not like, it's kind of like M21, a little bit boring beyond that. We've got Cat Rights, which is trying to do stuff with Liliana's Standard Bearer plus Archfiend's Vessel. Might go back to play this, it's at least a fast aggro deck. Something I was trying to do before was sort of like a black-green Goose Rights deck. I'll show you what that was looking like for a second here. So we had the usual Vessel Priest stuff. But another thing I was trying with this was like green for Lovestruck Beast, which is interesting with Village Rights, is like a cheap token thing that also works really well at attacking with cats. Basically trying to do something like something kind of like Rakdos aggro, but in black-green, like a more aggressive slant on the usual Jund Sack deck. And the spicy thing to try was Jolrael, which is great with Village Rights and also powerful with Priest of Forgotten Gods, as well as Liliana's Standard Bearer. So this is the thing I was trying out before, but it was hard to say that the green cards were really important enough to make it like an especially good deck. It read as being like a little underpowered, maybe. It's possible that if we add the Trail of Crumbs and like a couple of Luris, that we maybe have something going here. Except for that Archfiend's Vessel sort of demands that you play a bunch of ways to get it back for it to be good, and we really didn't have that. It's like there are a few too many cards trying to squeeze in here or something. Luris nonsense, Genesis. Tell me more. I assume you're playing Archfiend's Vessel in that, but I don't know what other cards work together with Luris. We do have the mono black deck, which is pretty much Luris nonsense. The Watchdog. Oh, you mean the Sentry with Luris? Yeah. I don't know. Luris is a 6-mana companion, just doesn't excite me at all. But there is probably like a pretty good black-white Luris deck that just runs that and never runs out of gas. Yeah, we can do that. Let's keep that where it is for now. Maybe look at black-white Luris and see what that looks like. Yeah, main deck Luris is a thing for sure, especially with the dog out now. Feels a little too good or something, like not spicy enough, but maybe. If Arena ever loads, we may have to restart it. Okay, that didn't work. What have we done to offend Arena today? Arena doesn't seem to think that main deck Luris is a thing. Come on, you can do it. We did it! Oh, it created the deck 3 times. Nice. What would black-white Luris look like? Let's figure that out. No. No, I say. Assume we're running a bunch of Seasoned Hallowblades. Presumably doing Priest things as well, because Priest Luris is broken. What else? What else? What else? Blue-White Yorion, Teferi's Tutelage, Niambi Baron. Teferi's Tutelage seems like a weird one, but I guess if there are enough slow controlling decks, it could have some functionality. I like Niambi a lot. I want to find a good Niambi deck at some point. That's it feels like there's a Baron Niambi brew going around somewhere. Yeah, so we're definitely playing Archfiend's Vessel. That's easy. Call the Death Dweller, I suppose, goes with the rest of it. What else, though? I'm trying to make sure we don't miss anything as we go through. There's Alseid Life's Bounty, which is pretty similar to Selfless Savior and probably should go in. Ebon Legion probably here as well. We can get to that in the black creature section. That's not a thing. Hero doesn't really function. Hushbringer's not a thing for the preview stream. Eidolon of Obstructions, and no. Tithe Taker, I like Tithe Taker. Definitely fond of this card. Maybe we'll play some. For Vessel, easy. Are we doing Cat Oven as well? I think the whole point of playing a Lurrus deck is that your entire deck is Cat Oven, so I don't really think we need to be Cat Ovening people. Oh, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Let me click my... There we go. Scorpion. Scorpion has some potential. Definitely don't ever need to play Whisper Squad again, hopefully. Oh, Whisper Squad. Kitesail Freebooter? Are we Kitesail Freebooting? That could be pretty good. Okay, we're getting close to enough cards. We've got the vessels. We could do Mire Triton. We could do Fiend Artisan. Those are both cards. Oh, we've got to add some Call the Death Dweller as well. So much to do. Cruel Celebrant, yeah, probably supposed to be a Cruel Celebrant deck too. But then, are we a Corpse Knight deck too? We're probably not a Tithe Taker deck. We could probably also just choose not to be a Kitesail Freebooter deck, huh? And just run the cards that do a little bit of a better job. Maybe not Corpse Knight, maybe this is Mire Triton instead. Given that we're doing the Fiend Artisans. Probably not a 24 land deck. Oh, Hellblade's also a 2-drop. We have too many 2-drops to choose from, huh? Too many 2s. Maybe it's not a Mire Triton deck. 16 2s, 21s, 4 Lurrus, 20 lands. Yeah, I don't know about Call the Death Dweller. It's hard to figure out what to cut. Maybe we aren't doing Seasoned Hellblade? This card might just... Discard a card is a real cost. A real cost. Maybe we don't. Maybe we're just on... a couple of calls. Hellblade is definitely good with Lurrus. The question is it better than all the other cards we're playing with Lurrus? And I do not know the answer to that. Okay, what if we just didn't do the Scorpions? Maybe? I don't have more 2s than 1s. Maybe we try 2 Hellblade. They're much worse in multiples. They're much worse in multiples, so we try 2 of that. 24 lands. And go up to like 3 Scorpion, 2 Alseid, 23 lands or something like that. Wow, so Craft is just broken. I don't even know what happened. We're going to have to restart at some point. How does that sound? 14 white sources. This is probably fine. Yeah, we got 4 Lurrus, 2 calls in here. And a couple Castle Lockthwain as mana sinks. I think this is probably fine. I think I'd rather be up a 3rd Castle Lockthwain than down to 22 lands. We also can discard extra lands to Hellblade. Maybe I'll go to like 2 Scorpion, 3 Call. Just make it extra easy to get Vessel out of the yard. Okay. Okay, we got ourselves a brew here. We also got 4 Knight of the Ebon Legion, so like excess lands are not so bad. Try crafting again. Didn't work, but I think we're just going to see the deck show up anyway. Yeah, so crafting no longer makes the cards appear in your collection, but let's go. I mean, Ebon Legion is just a broken card. It may not fit with the sacrifice theme super well. Maybe we can cut it for some Scorpions at some point. I'll try the deck as is first, and then if Ebon Legion's underperform, we can get rid of it. But Ebon Legion's definitely one of those cards that to not play in your black deck, you have to be doing something pretty specific. We actually might like Gutter Bones. Let me try. Cancel button wasn't working there. Maybe we'll go to Gutter Bones later. Yep, sure. Yeah, Gutter Bones is probably better. No shock, that's good. I am not used to playing Priest of the Forgotten Gods decks, so I'm going to try and sequence very carefully here where I can. Yeah, Cardboard Live is going to be broken, sorry, unfortunately. I will try and find a way to make sure all the decks can get out there after this game, after the stream's over. But trying to update Cardboard Live while live is going to be tough. Yep, Priest of the Forgotten Gods is one heck of a magic card. Creates many a sick turn. Oh look, it's Luris. Awesome. Nothing to do with it, but I actually do just get to go Selfless Savior into Luris now, so Luris is never dying against this red deck. Believe that's probably going to do it. Oh yeah, not a problem, Garfield, not a problem. This is what we're doing. It's very sketchy. Not sketchy in that it's weak, it's probably pretty good. But it's very much a sketch. Ouch. Ooh, Arctune's Vessel. Can't sack that one easily. What am I doing now? Priest versus Savior again. I feel like Savior probably just locks them out of the game, and I kind of want to just do that. We can even sack it to Luris to kill the Steamkin if they decide to block with it, then we gain another 3 life. I'm willing to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm actually into this. Technically, we probably have them locked anyway, but I don't mind being a little aggressive and trying to end the game here. We got the Cruel Celebrant down already, plus the Castle Lock going to boost us back up. Alright, they chose to take it. That's going to be game. Not sure if it's better to play Vessel or just draw the card off Lochthwain, but with our opponent 3, I don't mind having the creature. Okay, that was pretty smooth. I'd be down to try some Knight of the Ebon Legion, though. Or not Gutter Bones over Knight of the Ebon Legion. Risk factor, I think saying it's a card feels a little bit, like you might be overrating it slightly. I would not consider risk factor a card. Hey there, Hudat, good to see ya. Yeah, it's been fun so far. Some weird little arena bugs. Actually, I guess they haven't been play bugs. We don't need to worry about them too much. Okay, and the cards show up after you click done having crafted them, so that's a thing. Let's see. If we do that, we maybe cut the Alceids for the Scorpions here. It is nice to have more things that combo with Luris. This seems fine. A lot of promising cards. I think there will. This could be a pretty powerful deck when all's said and done. It's got some good little combos. There are a lot of different card choices you can make to tilt it in different directions versus from faster to more resilient. I like this black-white shell. No idea, Beefeater. No idea. Ooh, it's Danny. Danny is still playing. Holy cow. Oh, he took a break or something. Am I keeping this? It's got no 1-drops. I think I can do it. Do believe that I beat Danny last time we played, so this is the revenge match. Great streamer, really fun dude to watch. Highly recommended. Who dat? No, they did not. Once again, Wizards has printed an entire set without a single adventure. It's like they're out to get me or something. Honestly, I don't understand. Don't understand why you do that. One drop is nice, at least fills out the curve a little bit, means that we can't get swept up too easily. Of course, Uro, as always, is still capable of outpacing our entire deck by itself. We'll see. Uro is basically the reason I don't play these decks more often. I like playing decks that can output a bit more damage. Another call. Alright, so we are flooding a little bit on cards that don't do much until the late game. Could be something we want to adjust a little bit with the deck. Nice that it gets Luris. If I draw a land next turn, I can Artisan into Luris and cast Savior out of the yard. Yes, Vikyle, that's the joke. That's the joke. Yeah, that's what I think, Beefeater. How do you skip that? Okay, there's the land, so I do get to do hopefully all the things I want to do. Danny could respond with like a Scorching Dragonfire to kill something, but that's fine. I guess the problem will be if the Scorching Dragonfire is a Luris, but at the very least, I can still cast Selfless Savior before he gets to do that. Or he could counter Savior and then sweep the board. Then we'd be in a pickle. Frantic Inventory, that's fine. Do not think Danny is running Shock. Boy, Frantic Inventory plus Uro, huh? Don't know how to feel about that. Okay, so Uro does get to come back. We have no priests yet. This is not going to be easy. Uro would definitely be about 15% less obnoxious if they hadn't printed it in the same standard as Fabled Passage. Though, for all I know, every standard will have Fabled Passage forever. Ooh. Honestly, maybe Frantic Inventory is the card I should just be playing in the Jolrael deck, huh? I forgot this got printed. I should probably go stick 4 of these in that deck. It kind of just does everything we want to be doing. Yeah, it's a hard one. Blast Zone also not the best. Columbia's Bride does look like it's just blue-green so far. Geez, what do I even do now? Well, I can get a priest. I can fetch a priest. That's something. So let's plan to do that. Don't really feel like attacking with anything this turn yet. I guess if it's just blue-green, then I don't have to worry about Scorching Dragonfire, so I can actually just attack with something or other. I'd rather just play Cruel Celebrant out of the yard here, so let's not. Let's just recast this. Yeah, Toreador, Village Rites is a thing you could definitely do. I like Village Rites a lot too. I think Llanowar Visionary is probably my favorite non-rare in M21, but Village Rites is up there. I guess the nice thing about Priest is if Danny tries to discontinuity me, I can at least Priest in response. But I don't like the look of the 6 cards in Danny's hand. I mean, for all I know, he's about to go Ugin and eat my lunch. If Ugin comes down this turn, I will just scoop to Ugin. Tef, Master of Time. That one I can handle. That one is killable. Gotta watch out for Blast Zone, of course. Let's see, is there anybody I can guarantee a kill on the Tef? Goes up to 5. Yeah, if I had to sack the Celebrants and then hit it with everything, that should work. Unless Danny has interaction, but I can actually just sack Savior and Celebrant, that way I'm getting full value off Call the Death Dweller. I also just don't expect Luros to die to anything. I mean, Vikyle, possibly. Tef's a classic Magic character, but probably most of the cards that are Tef-like will be fair, like Tef Master of Time. Rather than absurdly absurd, like the War of the Spark Tef. Alright, 1 arrow down. Don't have a ton of confidence that we're going to win this one, but maybe there's a chance. I expect this to get countered, but then maybe we get to resolve the other one. Alright, actually that was terrible timing. I absolutely should have attacked with Fiend Artisan first. Well, let's oops that. That was my bad. Now I can't kill Tef. Do I just ignore Tef? What is your ultimate? Take 2 extra turns. That's a good ultimate. That is a good ultimate. Alright. Well, we're going to try and attack. It can't phase anything out. I expect something to probably get bounced, but whatever. Root Snare. Okay, well. Glad I have these 2 Cruel Celebrants. That might actually work. We've actually got Danny pretty close to dead. Artisan has underwhelmed this game, yes. Well, no. Artisan is the reason I have a Priest and a Luris. Let's not forget that. There's Ugin. Alright, so can I ever beat this? We can sack Alciad, sack Savior, deal 4 to Danny. Can draw off Lochthwain now first, see what we find off that. If we hit like another Luris, there might be a reason to keep playing the game. But unfortunately, we can't sack anything else. Yeah, I think I'm just going to give up against Ugin. That's curtains for me. Yeah, that was absolutely not the matchup to be playing a really slow aggro deck in. What's the thing to do if we want to be punishing people who are doing that? Go back to Jolrael. Jolrael had a little bit of interaction, at least. Yeah, just try Jolrael with the, whatever that card is called. It's not Take Inventory, it's the new version of Take Inventory. Let's see, what was that card called? Frantic Inventory, that's it. Similar name. New plan. Yep, let's try that. We haven't really run anything super competitive with blue-green Jolrael mid-range yet, but it has performed well. None of the games we've played have felt very close, and yeah, Admiral McBest. It's nice. It'll be nice if they stop printing instant speed time walks. But Nexus was beatable. That deck should also probably be beatable. If they were doing discontinuity things instead of expansion explosion things, I would much rather face discontinuity. I'll keep this. Extra Jolrael stinks a little bit, but oh, we're up against Croakies. How is Croakies awake? What are these people doing? I'm so confused. Okay, we're just going to impulse looking for that third land drop. And yep, we'll just take the third land. Pain-free forest, I'll take a pain-free forest. Yep, curious to see what Croakies is up to. Blast Zone, Zagoth Triome, Scavenging Ooze. Okay, well, being an Uro deck is a sad time right now. But at least we went down to 3 arrows instead of 4. It's 4:30 a.m. or like 3:30 or something in England, though. That is something. If this is just Sultai midrange, wouldn't mind seeing Sultai midrange. So, opt first. I'll take another Frantic Inventory. Seems good. Oh, I mean, Scavenging Ooze is an amazing card. Zero blame to Croakies for that. It's even going to make Frantic Inventory look much worse, sadly. Yeah, no, Scooz is incredible. The only reason I'm not playing any copies of my deck yet is I'm really trying to push every deck I have to be like the limit of the kind of deck it is. Meaning that I'm not doing as much like interactive-y stuff. I do have some Scoozes in the green-white counter deck, of course, but that's about it. Eventually, this will probably be, you know, I could easily see several main deck copies of this showing up in every green deck forever. Ooh, Tameo. Okay. What are we looking for, Tameo? Croakies, what's up? Once I see what he digs to off this, Thought Erasure. Alright, so we are just legit Sultai mid. Very interesting. So I have a couple options. I could bounce Scooz and then just get in at Tameo. Slightly worried about some kind of Wrath effect, making Tameo stick around forever. But if I bounce Scooz, I have a chance to get double tokens off the Frantic Inventories before Scooz comes back down, and that seems pretty good. Let's do that. Let's get rid of Scooz. Go for Inventory, get a token. In response to Scooz coming back down, I can Inventory, get another token. If we just get Ritual of Sooted here, then I'll be sad, but would Croakies be playing Ritual of Soot during the preview stream? I don't know. Alright, Uros here. Extinction Event on even, you say. Not bad, not bad. I do have this as the backup Jolrael, thankfully. But Tameo getting back Extinction Events can be incredibly annoying. Third Frantic Inventory is nice, though. Let's see. Can I Uro and get Uro back this turn? Not quite, not quite. And Scooz is going to make my life very sad soon. Let's just go Jolrael, make 2 more tokens, kind of build the board back up, maybe force them to Extinction Event again. Get Tameo to 1. Yep, no need to reveal what's in Croakies' deck. We'll play it out nice and fair here. Extinction Event, definitely the card that makes Jolrael very sad. But Frantic Inventory has been incredible. Could easily see that still letting me just win the game despite all of the advantage Croakies is accruing. Also, Blast Zone in your 3-color Uro deck? Really, Croakies? Really? Are you that desperate to blow up stuff of a certain converted mana cost? Uro's in. Alrighty. Deal. So, Extinction Event still in the yard there, notably. Would love to find another Brazen Borrower. In fact, Brazen Borrower is about the only card I need to find here, but between Inventory and Impulse, we actually have a pretty good shot at that. And then we get to kill Tamio. Or we at least get our own Uro out. So I have to choose between trying to dig for Brazen Borrower and killing Tamio versus finding my own Uro. Maybe I Uro first, that way if I draw... Let's Fabled Passage first, thin the deck out a little bit. Although I don't remember whether I saw a Borrower off the earlier Impulse. This might actually be the opposite of thinning the deck. And then we'll go for Uro. Yeah, I could also have activated Jolrael. Maybe that would have been better, actually. I had a lot of cards in hand. Found a Storming Entity, though. I found a Storming Entity, chat. Yeah, I should have activated Jolrael. That was silly. But if they do want to, if Croakies does want to get back Extinction Event and cast, it's going to take his whole turn, and then I end with an Uro in play. And, like, more cards in hand, maybe? Certainly more mana. I guess not more cards, but then I have a third Jolrael. Could still go for Impulse into Borrower. But I can... Let's just go Uro. Getting rid of things that aren't frantic inventories, I suppose. I think this basically forces the Extinction Event to happen. We might die after that, though. And now that I have Growth Spiral, I think I just Impulse here. And I'll take Tammy down to 3 so she dies if the Extinction Event. It seems worth. Could even have attacked with Jolrael and stopped them from getting back Extinction Event this turn. Because I have a second Jolrael, but I don't want to necessarily be constrained to cast that yet, since Croakies might have to put some effort into removing Jolrael. Given that I can start holding lands around now, Jolrael is always going to be a threat to just murder all of Croakies' stuff. Wow, got back Overgrown Tomb. Is this Casualties of War? What is this about? Or did Croakies just misclick after 20 hours of play? Who knows? So if I block Uro with Uro, Croakies can get back Uro and then scoos my Uro. Doesn't seem great. I think we're going to say no blocks here. Croakies could have some kind of giant sweeper. But would rather keep my Uro in play against Use. Croakies is under threat of taking 32 damage off Jolrael if Croakies doesn't kill Jolrael. So can't just play Use this turn, can't just make a Shark this turn, certainly can't cast Shark Typhoon. Can't cast Hydroid Krasis either. I am curious to see what this is going to be. Nissa. Well, that's how you know it's a Croakies deck. I don't know that Nissa really saves ya here. Nissa plus Extinction Event's pretty good, though. Croakies chose to get rid of the Uros? What? What? Okay, I mean... Sure. I'll, Drat, if this were bounceable with Brazen Borrower, this would be very lethal here. So what I can do here is I can attack... Deal 16. And that puts Croakies into Brazen Borrower range, but I probably have to kill this Nissa, right? Yeah, let's just make sure the Nissa dies here. I'd also bounce Nissa. Attack for 16 and then bounce Nissa. That would put Croakies into a slightly tough spot. He can recast Nissa, then cast Ooze as well, and I haven't really gained any board presence. Uro is exiled, so it doesn't necessarily come back next turn. Let's just kill Nissa here, keep a full hand. That seems fine. Okay. Okay, 12 for Croakies. We got a Brazen Borrower in the back. His late game's definitely better, but we're ahead on board. Gotta kill Jolrael. It's through 2 extinction events already. Could go Tamiyo, land Tamiyo, get back event, play event, at which point the land goes away, and then I get Brazen Borrower to finish off Tamiyo. Okay, Moreau does not threaten me very much. I'm gonna attack with 4 7-power creatures here. Croaky just like whiff horribly on lands this whole game? Seems like that might be what's going on. Just casting her out of the graveyard and he's dead. Alright, well, that's gonna do it, I think, unless he's running Mystical Dispute. Okay, well, that's lethal and a half, so let's do it. Alright, goodbye, Croakies. Well, Frantic Inventory is pretty friggin' sick, honestly. So you may have picked up some Croakies viewers who wanted to come see what's going on. Hello, any Croakies viewers. We're about to play this deck again, so I hope you enjoyed that.
We need
Bulger
to become
5, thanks
Aaron
for the
Gertler
follow.
tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Yep, Jolrael is nuts. Honest to goodness. Yeah, that was good. I liked everything that happened there. Still not sure about Adventurous Impulse. Like the whole like Storming Entity thing, it's possible that this deck is just better without Storming Entity. It's like an okay backup plan for Jolrael, but it's not great. So this is what I'll be thinking about. At some point I may try to build a version of this. It doesn't have Storming Entity, maybe it has cards like Llanowar Visionary. Actually, maybe I try that now. Let's cut the entities, see what I can do if I switch things up a bit. Yeah, Merlin Build, I wouldn't be surprised if that deck ended up playing Frantic Inventory. So if we swap in some Visionaries, we don't really need all the cheap instants and sorceries anymore. We can consider other cards you might run this place. I think Opt is still good, as it's just the cheapest way to trigger Jolrael. I could play Incubation and Congruity. We're up to only 19 creatures, though, so probably not that. I was mostly playing Lovestruck Beast because it triggered the entity. So I could go in a totally different direction and play like Jolrael Stompy. I could just play like Cloud Concealer and Llanowar Visionary and all the cards that draw cards when they come into play. And Jolrael even sort of works as a late game overrun in that kind of deck. It does become a worse Uro deck at the same time because we're not putting as many cheap instants and sorceries in the graveyard. And the entity has been very good in the games we've seen it. Let's stick with this build for now. This is probably the first thing I'm going to do once this set drops, like legally though, is try different versions of blue-green. And see what feels best. I don't know which one you're talking about. There's Ranger's Guile, which does not draw a card, but gives +1/+1. And there's Scavenging Ooze could easily be. I mean, Scavenging Ooze will definitely be in the sideboard of this deck. Oh, it's Bloody! Wow. What else do we just play Danny into Croakies into Bloody? What a night. This looks Huh, this hand just looks like a bunch of random blue-green cards, but I think it's a keeper. I'll run Impulse out, because Impulse could still hit the turn to Jolrael for me, which would be great. Yep. In for that, curving into Uro. Bloody's on... Ooh, what are these lands? M19. Never seen these before. Seasoned Hallowblade. Well, if Jolrael lives, Jolrael's going to be pretty darn good here, I expect. Yeah, I had super been underestimating the 6-man ability on this thing, even though I thought like the top ability was good. Like just the fact that it comes in late and actually does something is incredible. Yeah, Hexproof draw card for 1 mana would be quite a card. That's just like a much better version of God's Willing. That would see a lot of play. All the Hallowblades in the world, but fortunately we've got Brazen Borrowers and Jolrael, so I think we'll be fine. Absolutely going to be blocking these Hallowblades until the day is done. Embercleave scares me a bit here, but can still manage that, I think. Incarcerated Geneticist. I don't even know what you're talking about. They would never print a card like that. Okay, good. Not Embercleave. You love to see it. Ooh, Selfless Savior. That's basically like a Hellblade trigger, except it costs 1. This is pretty strong, though. I mean, can't deny this is looking pretty strong. Ooh. So it's definitely like red-white dog tribal. Or she has like 1 copy of this to go get with whatever the 2/2 is. Yes, it was Veil of Summer. The card that will long live in infamy. Okay, not getting a robe out just yet. Boy, really not getting a robe out just yet. Not really doing much of anything just yet. Well, this could be Winota too. Wouldn't put it past Bloody to be playing Winota. Alright, well, flooding a little here. Just a little bit of flood. That actually should have been a breeding pool out tap since I want to crack this Fabled Passage and not draw quite as many lands soon. Yeah, we could die. Whatever. Alright. Jolrael actually plays decent defense. If we get like 1 more creature down, I'd feel pretty secure. We've got a Brazen Borrower in case of Winota. We can beat Winota. Okay, so are we bouncing Warboss now before it gets to do any mentor stuff? I think I'm bouncing Warboss now before it gets to do any mentor stuff. There's some temptation to block Hallowblade and then try to bounce it in response to the discard ability. But as long as Warboss isn't mentoring onto a token, I can just block a token with Jolrael and it's fine. What I really want is just like an Opt or a Frantic Inventory, something that lets me get a row out. Once a row's out, I feel pretty safe in this game. Ooh, we're not seeing Warboss come down yet. Interesting. And Hallowblade drops. Ooh, you love to see that. Oh, sorry, Bloody. I really thought she just had 3 good cards in her hand. Gingerbrute. Alright, maybe this is like weird haste Winota. And yeah, that draw was terrible. We had nothing to do this turn. Like, I could sit and just like threaten to make Jolrael into a 4/4 and like kill. I guess I would just be killing the dog that way and not even killing the Warboss. But Brazen Borrower just does nothing. Even like a Lovestruck piece would have been incredible here. Alright, well. Crack a passage thin a bit. Hopefully find something to put a card in the graveyard. Could be 25 lands and 4 ops, a little high given our curve here. We haven't had problems like this so far, though. I can just go for the bounce war boss play again. It's not the end of the world. I probably will do that, in fact. Alright, now we're putting that back out pre-combat. I see you, bloody. I see you. Okay, something goes in the graveyard, please. Oh, well, that goes in the graveyard. Nice, 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 nice. Legend rule, baby. Still scared of Embercleave, but this is a good one. Or it was not a fair card, but I'll play it while it's legal. And yeah, there's some value to holding lands, but I'll put out one more so I can put an extra 1/1 out this turn. It seems fine. I like that we're starting to get a little bit of chip in with the borrower. Certainly not trying to play out more lands from here, though. And yep, red white against Uro. Sad story. Yep, Admiral. Those are my first two. Those are the first two things on the ban train. If anybody lets me make those decisions. Okay, taking another look at this. There's definitely a part of me that wants to try like the of one mind Edgewall Innkeeper build I was thinking about, where we take advantage of having 12 humans off Beast plus Innkeeper plus Jolrael. The big problem is just there aren't any other good blue or green adventure creatures. Like Splash for Bone Crusher Giant or something, but it doesn't excite me very much. Splash for Merchant to the Veil, which at least lets me draw cards with Jolrael, but that's not great either. Trying to think there's like good ways to stockpile extra cards. Like Frantic Inventory is nice. Of One Mind can do it a little bit, just to make Jolrael more of a late game threat. I could also just jam a couple Hydroid Krasis in here. Yeah, what if I put like a Borrower and an Entity for a couple Krasis? Borrower being my only source of interaction makes that a little bit risky, maybe. Could also do this. Cut you, cut you. Add like you, add you. And just do that. Okay, let's try that. Just a little bit more of a standard ramp build. Magic Mirror, Copper Dream. I'll let you try that one. Chromatic Orrery. Seeing this card in the background reminds me this is a card I want to try at some point. 7-mana artifact that taps for 5 mana. Seems interesting. Alright, Frantic Inventory, time to see what you can do. Oh no! Oh no, I can't beat an Edgewall Innkeeper. Never in a million years can I beat an Edgewall Innkeeper. This green-white? Are they just playing Teamer Clover in the preview stream? Alright, green-white adventures. Slightly irritating, but at least means the double Lovestruck Beast can hold our opponent off for a bit. I do not know what the PE suffix is. No idea. Oh no! This is the only way This is the only way I've ever seen a green-white Edgewell Innkeeper deck win a game. Has been having several Innkeepers early, but when they do it, times are tough. Could really use a Jolrael right about now. Although Uro is a nice tool against these decks. Yeah, maybe I should be teamer with some stomps. There's Jolrael. I did ask for that. Need to find a land to go with her, but a green producing land, a blue producing land. No, that works. That still works. So now we get Jolrael, we get inventory, we get to stop taking chip damage. Jolrael is not a card that can kill with Giant Killer, so I'm guessing she just lives for a long time. Next turn we get to make 2 2/2s. Oh, raise the alarm. Alright, so Venerated Loxodon, obviously a thing for them. I can even handle raise Loxodon just makes more 2/2s, that's fine. Flourish at some point is going to be dangerous. But currently we're alive. Visionary. Can Visionary into Frantic Inventory? Is that better than Growth Spiral? Growth Spiral gives me a chance to hit. Well, I can. Yeah, I'll just Visionary this turn. The thing that scares me is Scavenging Ooze. Wouldn't want to see that. Yep, that's good damage, and if they have the double Innkeeper and are drawing enough cards off it, they're just going to get to do that a couple times and maybe kill me with it. Giant Killer means Brazen Borrower can't chump our way out of this, although Brazen Borrower can stop Guide Mother stuff from working. Yeah, that's the top 19 cards. Edgewell Innkeeper. Wonder what new cards they even run in this one. Are they on the play too? Or do they just have a Loxodon? They're trying to figure out what to tap for it. Oh, sorry about the beeping. That's a problem. That is definitely a problem. Okay, inventory is about the best draw on the deck for us there. Definitely don't hate to see it. I just suspect it's not going to be enough, but if our opponent gets lazy, we might get to just inventory end a turn and kill them on the backswing. I could see it. I think it's worth making the extra creature here to go down one. Were they dead that turn? There's no way they were dead that turn, right? No, they had 4 blockers. They were not dead that turn. Couldn't quite have inventoried into a pump without tapping Visionary too. Alright, Flourish. That's not lethal. It's not even that close to... I mean, it's bad. I don't like it, but I think I can live it and maybe kill on the backswing. They also can't attack with the Love Struck piece anymore, which is nice. So, just those two. Okay. Okay. Sure. Uro's nice. I think we just take out the Loxodon. What a weird play. Unless they have another one, which they very well could. Even if they have another one, I think Uro probably puts me out of range. Okay, we'll hold off on Opt for a second because Opt might be castable as an instant at some point to give me a little bit of a bonus. I can start doing some attacking and forcing some chumping. The math here gets weird, though. The math is complicated. So I play that, I make a 2/2. I can play a land, attack with a bunch of 2/2s that can be turned into 4/4s. which means Lovestruck Beast still gets to block and kill one of them, and the opponent can block pretty easily with some tokens. I think I want to hold off one more turn, just get Uro out this turn, and then I can Growth Spiral into opt for yet another token later. I don't think I had quite enough damage there against all the opponent's blockers, and I'm in a serious danger of dying on the backswing. Okay, so I'm not going to be playing lands from the hand. Next turn I can Growth Spiral into opt, which makes another wolf. I could play Lovestruck Beast here, but that doesn't give me Growth Spiral into opt, which means I don't get a wolf anyway. I don't think a 5/5 is that much different than a 2/2 here. The Beast is a good blocker, on the other hand. Green Bay Packers fan, thanks for the follow. This is a complicated board. How many creatures do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here. One timeout, so we're okay. I think I'm waiting on that next wolf. I'm just going to pass here. This also means that in emergency, if they do something crazy that's going to kill me, I have a chance to like opt into a Brazen Bar or Growth Spiral into a Brazen Borrower. Flourish again. Okay. Now are you attacking me? What's up? Here they come. Okay. Oh, look, Brazen Borrower. That's helpful. All right, so we should be able to kill them on the backswing, right? We block a bunch of stuff, we borrow something, and then we just kill them? Yeah, seems good. How much stuff is dying when we block them, though? So we block... The question is, am I borrowing now, or am I just opting to make another 2/2? Another 2/2 basically does the same thing as a borrower here. So I think we just opt. Keep Spiral. And now we go for, I think it's 1. Presumably they can pay one more creature out as well, so we gotta be careful about that. Block Innkeeper, block Innkeeper, block... double block Giant Killer since that's the same as single blocking them. So you're double blocked, taking... You're double blocked. And taking now, that's exactly 11 damage. I throw out this one when I can't attack with Lovestruck Beast anymore, which is disappointing. Let's do this. Throw this in, and that should let me live, I think. And kill on the backswing. Didn't really count it very carefully, but I think that's it. Okay, yep, Jolrael easily beats 3 copies of Edgewell Innkeeper. What a magic card. What a freaking magic card, honest to God. Now I get to attack, and then draw the card. And then pump? Good golly. This friggin' card. It's unreal. Yeah, I'm really potent. The thing I like about it is we're playing 4 Jolrael. We're playing a bunt. The whole deck is just like card draw to find Jolrael and Jolrael. So sweepers aren't even that problematic. Like, there are definitely things that could destroy what we're doing, but... Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that Jolrael is like, you know, a broken bomb or something, but I think she just like has a lot of potential to be a card people are just playing. I think she's not that bad to get interacted with because she's a bit like Priest of Forgotten Gods. She's like a 2-mana creature that just, it doesn't get immediate value, but accrues a lot of it very quickly and can like kill your opponent through a bunch of complicated boards. and is easier to build around than Priest, I think, even though slightly weaker in terms of what she actually does. Plus, you can just like get the cards off for the same turn you cast her. Yeah, she's a nice synergistic card. I don't know who Merchant is, Iago. I literally, that's not meant as a burn. I do not know who Merchant is. I don't know. She's a nice synergistic card if the synergy is like your deck draws cards, and a lot of decks draw cards. I don't think so, Admiral Boat. I think you're not good enough at actually drawing cards unless you have exactly Edgewilling Keeper in play. If you have Edgewilling Keeper in play and you're drawing cards, you're usually in pretty good shape. She'd be great if you could like fit her and Of One Mind into adventures, maybe, but at that you only have a couple flex slots in that deck, and I think filling the flex slots with Jolrael is a tough one. I just love how consistent this deck is. Y'all know I love blue-green, consistent type decks, and just the whole deck being a pile of card draw that kind of quietly puts mana on the table and then gets up to Jolrael is really good. The big question, I think, for this one is just like, with that interaction, you're going to have trouble against Jund, and with that interaction, you're going to have a lot of trouble against Wilderness Reclamation, so, can you handle anything those decks are doing? And it's possible the answer is just like, nope, you can't. But maybe there's a build of the deck where you actually can. Green-White Counters also feels like a deck that can go over the top of you. Brazen Borrowers and no Brazen Borrowers, since they can easily attack through Uro once they've got their stuff going. Yeah, if I was afraid of removal, I could always just Growth Spiral and play Jolrael next turn, but I'm not really afraid of removal. Okay, that's not a counter doubler, so that's fine. Alright, so I was going to be tempted to do like Opt plus Growth Spiral to try and sneak out a 2-2 and maybe get my opponent that way, but since we drew Llanowar Visionary, I'll just play Llanowar Visionary. Extra mana for next turn, extra mana for Krasis later. All that good stuff. The thing that's really cool about Jolrael is in a couple of turns, Conclave Mentor. That's glad they put that one out that turn instead of the next turn. That was almost really scary. So we've actually got them restricted from attacking, which is awesome. In a couple turns, if we just like keep hitting land drops and drawing cards, we might just be able to like just hang out and hold up Jolrael, making everything gigantic, which might actually let us block what our opponent's doing. Yeah, do I even bother to do Opt stuff now? I think I just Breeding Pool into play tapped. Save Opt to maybe draw a card off Jolrael later? There's not really anything that's mono green that I can play off of Jolrael here, so I think we just wait. Play out this land. Well, I should still opt. Fight the way through a deck a little bit. This also makes my opponent maybe wonder if I can do anything to draw 2 cards here. So the scariest thing they can do in their deck, I think, is Venerated Loxodon, and Venerated Loxodon at least taps their creatures down for a turn, gives me time to get Krasis down. Krasis or just like defensive Jolrael. It's possible that Krasis should instead be commence the endgame if we're trying to do like the flash, hold up 6 mana for Jolrael plus other stuff. The attack with Mentor, I'm absolutely eating it with some cats. No question about that. Nice, and I think I will opt to be spending all my mana on Krasis this next turn anyway. Okay, another Crisis. So now I just get to attack Basri with like 2 cats. The opponent has to block at least 1 cat if they don't want Basri to die, and then I just make all the cats into 5/5s? This is incredible. Like, look at this. How do you react to this if you're my opponent? What do you do? Indestructible. Until end of turn, yeah. Okay, that's good. I literally did not know what this card said. Thank you. Basri Cat grants indestructible to end of turn. So there's like no good blocks here for them. Jolrael is just absolutely crazy here. I think their best bet is literally to let Basri die and hope I don't have like some kind of crazy follow-up. But unfortunately for my opponent. So is it better to actually make a Krasis and a 1/1, or should I just make a 5/5 Krasis because that blocks Conclave Mentor and it blocks a Pelt Collector with a counter, with 2 counters on it? Huh. Probably just the 5/5 Krasis here? Let's go for the 5/5 Krasis. Oh, and I get another 2/2. Forgot about the other 2/2. Yeah, this is, I mean, I put them all into 5. Had they had, like, Pelt Collector into Mentor into Basri as their first 3 turns, instead of Pelt Collector Serpent Mentor Basri, I would be in a much harder spot this game, for sure. But I still feel like that turn is the kind of thing that will happen a lot in regular games of Magic, and it looked darned impressive. It would have been nice to be able to bounce the Mentor in response. But is my opponent dead? They're just incredibly dead. That doesn't work at all. Now we just do this. Also, Krasis is now an 11/11. Yeah, good game. I don't know. I keep being pretty impressed. Yeah, and sorry, Coinman, Cardboard Live is not working because new cards are here, but I think we'll play one more game with this, and then we'll close out the stream for the night, and then I will post... if you hang around the chat for a few minutes, I can post a bunch of decks there, or you can check my Twitter, and I'll post the decks there later. Might honestly just post this one, because this might be the only deck that I would actually endorse after playing a bunch of different weird things this stream. And if anybody really wants to see a deck, they can request a list from me. Certainly, Llanowar Visionary was crazy there. Getting me to Jolrael activation faster while drawing cards. How's this? This is fine. Oh, after rotation, Geneticist, after rotation. Kahira over here. So we'll see if this is Kahira Esper or legit cats. With this hand, I'd rather be playing against legit cats, I think. Okay, looks like probably legit cats. Let's get to spend the turn either frantic inventorying or borrowing. Let's go for the borrowing. I think we'll save frantic inventory for after we have a Jolrael out in case we do get to one. Totally agree, Squin. I love what's going on here. So this is our first. I think it's first game in a while where we don't have an early Jolrael. So we'll see how well the deck holds up without its core engine card. Ooh, Lurrus. Fun. Okay, so I'm like digging pretty hard for Jolrael here. See if I can find one. Not yet, not yet. Let's dig again. I think Uro would also be great. Of course, I would keep an Uro easily. Growth Spiral, I have a bunch of lands in hand. Pretty down for Growth Spiral. Should have Fabled Passage first since I have to shuffle a bunch of stuff back on my deck, which is a little sad, but we do get to No-Go Island. I also have a bunch of Krasis I could get here too. We're ramping pretty fast, especially thanks to Llanowar Visionary. Look at Krasis. Great. So now we'll just put this in. Crack that for an island. We'll play Frantic Inventory and then untap into a big Krasis. Leave this untapped for now so it can block the Lurrus. Well, Genesis, you need to be playing Jolrael in turn 2 for it to be at all good, right? 100% blocking. If they have some kind of indestructible thingy, then I guess they could just have a second Lurrus, but still blocking. Burrow's a good pickup. That's already extremely castable. Was it a second Luris? Oh, it was Sorin for Luris. That's cute. That's cute. Glad that Krasis eats Sorin pretty fast if they're going to spend 3 loyalty on it now. So easy Krasis. Just want to be killing Sorin. I had a green source. I can just Uro next turn. See if they have some removal. Pride Mate. Not too scary with all the borrowers we got. And great, no removal. So Sorin's going down. We've got borrowers. We've got Lovestruck Beast. We've got Jolrael. There's my girl. Uro versus Spiral here. Any land I hit's going to cast Brazen Borrower pretty much, unless it's Temple. Yeah, I'll just Uro. Oh, hit the one land that doesn't do it. That's fine, though. It's fine. We'll happily scry into more lands. We got plenty of stuff to do with mana right now. Yep, just like that one. Kill Sorin. We'll have a turn where we take some hits, but we can survive. Instant life gain. Broken as always. Call the Death Dweller, maybe? Ooh, oh wait, okay. For a second I thought this comes into playability. No, I do get to play her out of the yard, which is really good. So let's do that, leave Frantic Inventory in there. And probably settle into more of a defensive stance. Could just Lovestruck plus token this turn. If I Lovestruck plus token, we actually start to threaten their life total with Jolrael pretty well next turn. I think I'm into that. And frankly, I've got a 6x and a 5/5. I think I'm swinging the Krasis here. Oh, okay. Well, now I see what the joke is. Nethroi, Apex of Death. That's actually pretty good. That's going to make it hard to kill them with Jolrael. Definitely going to make it harder. Frantic Inventory basically acts as a +1/+1 to all the creatures I was going to attack with anyway, so if I just cast this attack with 6 creatures, I make everything into a 7/7. The opponent's got to block at least 3 of them, since Nethroi puts them to 22. So they could block with, like, Leon and Lion Nethroi, but everything they block with dies and all my creatures survive. Worst case, they block Jolrael. Oh, Krasis actually gets way bigger, though. So you block with 4 creatures? Alright, I'm done with math. We're just attacking them to death. Oh, also, yeah, with Uro attacking, everything's a 7/7. Let's go. Could have put a land on the battlefield and then had Growth Spiral plus some other stuff. If they're not blocking Jolrael this turn, the same thing's going to happen next turn. Everybody hurts. Every creature dies. So the thing they need here is like land into mutate Nethroi. That could still do it. Yep, Genova's Witness, it looked like maybe they didn't know, or they knew and they realized there was nothing they could do about it. All right, yeah, Jolrael is very, very good. I don't know yet what kinds of changes I would make to this list. Probably it's going to need a little bit more interactive something or other once people actually make this meta game settle down. I have no idea how this kind of deck would perform against anything that's good in Standard pre-M21. All those decks are probably still going to be pretty good post-M21. Wheelless Reclamation still worries me, as does Junsack. Us having no ways to remove artifacts or enchantments or creatures or anything is tough. We do get some decent sideboard cards for all those purposes. Nope, no Boogeyman decks. I mean, no one's really playing the Boogeyman decks on the preview streams. So there's not a great way to do that. And Reclamation honestly looks like it's going to possibly just scrub every deck that doesn't have Teferi out of the metagame, the same way it has in past formats if they don't ban it. But don't sleep on Jolrael. I feel like she's going to find her way into some deck somewhere and be really good, whether it's now or post-rotation. Seems like a card worth owning. I don't think so, Jim Carroll. I feel like this deck is pretty good at putting on enough pressure to force a sweeper without us having to commit everything to the board. We've got Brazen Borrower post-sweeper. We've got mostly just a ton of card draw. We're just kind of like a Hydroid Krasis deck at heart, plus the Frantic Inventories force you to like be sweeping us and cleaning out the graveyard, because we also an Uro deck. I don't know. We haven't seen many sweepers, but we did crush Croakies through Double Extinction Event, wiping out 2 big Jolrael boards. So, we'll see. We'll see. All right, that's going to be the end of the stream for tonight. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with the preview stuff. This is the deck, in case you're wondering about it. Again, not at all sure this is what the final list should look like, but I'll post this on Twitter. I have it has felt pretty smooth. And there are plenty of cards from M21 I haven't even gotten close to playing yet that I will eventually, I'm sure, have a lot of fun with. Love Basri's Lieutenant. Love lots of different Llanowar Visionary decks. Might even try some kind of fancy red deck. Who knows? But yeah, good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. With me, whatever. Tammy's asleep. So I guess it's just me. But be sure to follow if you want to see lots of M21 gameplay starting on Friday and beyond. Going to be streaming a ton with this set, trying to fight my way close to the top of Mythic with lots of interesting brews. Probably a lot of Jolrael too. So be sure to come and hang out. And with that, I will say goodnight.